Two.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, the Battle Rap Podcast of New York and the Battle Rap Podcast of the world, Craig. Tonight we have an amazing show for you. We have was this the first guest that was on LTBR Daily? You know this guy as the creative content director at URL, a good friend of ours and a good friend of yours. We have Mr. JB in the house tonight, everybody. JB from URL. You know we're going to be tackling a host of things tonight. We're going to be going over upcoming URL cards. We're going to be going over some inside info, hopefully. And we're just going to see what's been going on with JB, man. So as always, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com. Follow the show on all socials, IG and Twitter at LTBR Podcast. And let's get into it, man. France, how are you, player?
Fresh off of this Murder Mook Media Day.
Shitting me.
And it was an exhausting press conference, but I think one that was much necessary and essential to what, he wants to do. He wanted to talk to everybody about how people feel about him, his feedback, the critiques he's got on his performance. And I didn't hold any punches, Vlad.
Oh, man. It was a very interesting press conference, man. Yeah. But before we get into that, France, let's introduce our esteemed guest, man. France, toss it over to JB, player.
Man, listen, man, we got the man Jay Bizzle in the building.
Jay Bizzle in the hizzle.
And first and foremost, everybody listen to this. So this is going to be Monday morning drop, right? Make sure we give another round of applause for recording those Litework battles on Friday night and having it ready in under 24 hours, man. All right, that's a 16-hour turnaround of a battle getting edited, ready to be premiered. And Mike P and Sharon was a great battle. Mike P's third round, masterpiece, right? You know what I'm saying?
Giving it the French kiss, man. And France, I'm gonna try for the third time to introduce our guest, JB. JB, how you doing, player?
My friends, I am beyond privileged to be here. You already know I love y'all, so I'm stupidly happy to be here. Quick question, fuck it, let's jump into it, right?
Yes.
I know I'm being interviewed, but I'll ask the questions here. Thank you very much. This was said in the room, not by me, but by some very reputable battle rappers that everybody respects. Is that the greatest Litework round of all time? Mike's third? And if so, can anybody ever top it? Because the feeling in the room, I want to be clear, was that's the best anyone will ever be on Litework.
Oh, that's the threshold now. They're saying that's the ceiling of
I'm like, I don't even know, but it definitely felt like that at the time. So I want to know from people who weren't there if it was as crazy as it felt at the time.
First, Vlad.
You actually saw the whole battle.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, fun fact, I actually put in the
because
request.
because I knew it was shot the day before. I knew it was shot the day before, so I'm like, okay, there's no way there's a battle dropping like on Saturday. So I'm figuring next week or some other time or whatever. And then I go on Twitter and I'm like, hold on, how does this clip have 20-something thousand views? Like, what is this? Like, where did France get this? Like, hold on, this battle ain't out. How's this video floating on Twitter? I thought Mike took the video and put it out for himself. It was like, yo, I'm back, baby, I'm back. And then I'm like, the battle is out. This is crazy. It was a wild round on a technical level, like the way it was delivered, from who it was delivered. Like, it was a masterful round, man.
I want to say I had put a tweet out. I was like, "Oh, what battle I want to see first?" And I was like, "I know what battle I want to see first. I want to see Mike P and Sharon." And everybody started responding to me with goofy memes. And then when we're doing a live show an hour before Litework, and then I get a text from one of our reps at Caffeine. It's like, "Hey, France, we heard your request, and I want to let you know that the Mike P and Sharon battle is going to be premiering. So let your show know that it's going to be premiering in an hour." And I tell everybody, and then Jay Black pulls up. It's like, "It's France's fault. It's France's fault. We're getting Mike P and Sharon. He picked this. Quote this." And
put this in your blogs.
I will say, to let you off the hook, France. Or maybe I'm just stealing away the credit. This was actually Smack's call.
Okay.
Because I could have put out any of them. I could have got any of them ready in time. Shout out to Derez who helped me like do the very final export on it. But yeah, it could have been any of them. But Smack specifically came to me at the end of the event and he goes, I'm thinking Mike P and Sharon. That third round was really crazy. To be clear, y'all, all the battles on Litework were kind of ridiculous. I don't know how much information has gotten out about it yet, but we could talk about it. But every battle was good, with rare exceptions. But yeah, that was the one Smack wanted to lead off from this weekend.
I see everybody. Don't come at me, all right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody kept throwing their Koopy memes at me. I'm like, hey, listen, man, I want to see what Mike does in this room. So far, this room is really catered to the pure rappers, the Mikes, Cortezes, Arsenals, and I love that. Like, it just brings so much structure. You know what I mean? Like, me and JB were talking about this off air. It's just like I love the difficulty of these guys creating content in their rounds to fit the clock. You know what I'm saying? And rapping through reactions, going through it, keeping things fluid. It's when you look at Mike's round, the fact that his practicing probably came with like a bunch of clocks in front of him, making sure he didn't miss a second, because a single like millisecond too long, the round is like distorted now.
Yeah, I saw where he said that he couldn't really see the clock. Like he thought that that it would be something that was just super obvious in front of him or whatever, but he practiced it so much that his internal clock was like, nah, you're on pace. You got it. You got the right time and stuff. And that was a pretty tough task to pull off, man. But as far just from like purely as a spectacle from an MC, that was dope. That was creative. That's like, you know, rhyming backwards, or like when Papoose did the alphabetical slaughter type thing. Like I put it up there with those type of things where in the battle rap format, like this is a special gem. You know, this is a special gem that we'll be able to look at and marvel at and be like, this was very creative and dope. To come back and answer your question, do I think this can be top? It can be top, obviously, because everything is so subjective. You know what I'm saying? But from a creative aspect, what he was able to do using the clock and using the concept of light work and everything like that, I think he may have, you know, maybe reached the limit with that kind of concept or something. If you're going to do anything with the time or the clocks or scheme something like that, you're going to have a hard time trying to do it better, because it was masterfully done and it was on point every single second of it. So
yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I would say that if anything is gonna be like a stunt that sort of relates directly to the clock,
don't even do it.
It's gonna be derivative, right? Like it's definitely gonna be borrowing from Mike.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say quick, paying homage to Hitman Holla, way ahead of its time. When he battled Big T almost 13 years ago, in his second or third round, I believe, he had that first 48 bar where he said he came 50 deep. Good, I'm gonna let the 40 shake and turn Smack DVD into channel A&E, because I'm gonna shoot the first 48. And back in the days, they used to have the clock at the bottom for 3 minutes, and first 48 landed on 48.
Okay. Shout out to him. Shout out to Twiz for doing the graphics and making it fit like that. That's fire.
Mike,
I'm just trying to give some credit to the people on my side of the camera.
you have to, man. You have to. How was the rest of the night? Because you know, the other standout thing that happened is that you know, Aye Verb had some gastrointestinal hiccups that were going on there, and he left some of himself on the floor all around the place. Like shooting that, being there, like how crazy was it? Because I'm just trying to picture Verb in full Verb form, like going through this DNA chess-like motion, and I just can't picture it. So what was that like, man, seeing that happen?
Verb definitely had some challenges. Whatever happened with him physically was out of sight of anyone else. No one has like a traumatizing memory of watching Verb turn green. It was nothing like that. Like he was just, we were in the space for a while. I think the weight kind of had him thrown off. Mm-hmm. And then and then he's Vegan Verb
Right.
publicly. So I think food-wise, he was having some challenges, and then or at least I don't know if you've ever felt like super sick, but you didn't realize you were sick. You just thought it was something else. You're like, oh, am I having anxiety? Am I
Do I need
tired?
air?
Am I actually hungry?
Right.
And then after like quite a lot of consternation, then he was like, oh no, I'm sick as shit. Like disappeared, came back and sort of gathered himself. And I mean, it's not his like most perfect set of rounds ever, but I mean, there's a little warrior mentality there that we Midwestern gentlemen are born with. Shout out to my Midwestern cohorts.
They were hashtagging on. They were hashtagging on Twitter. They were hashtagging on Twitter justice for chess. Because they felt like, Verb went on, he got like 2 days ranting about chess.
He was killing him, man.
He was killing him. And so it's like, hold up now.
Oh fuck! Really?
There's a bunch of justice for chess on Twitter.
Verb was shooting at chess after the last gastrointestinal challenge. Oh God, yeah, you got to wear that one. Yeah.
You guys are gonna need URL barf bags at these events now, man.
Saying, right? We need like. We've got like the water people. Everybody gets like a half a ginger ale and like some ice chips, like whatever it is to keep you.
Y'all gonna need the barf bags, and y'all gonna need the honey and tea for like when Old Red is performing. Y'all gonna need that joint on standby. You know what I'm saying?
Trust, that's actually already a thing that I always bring with. And shout out to Red. Like Red's one of my favorites.
Yo, no matter what,
I've for years now, like Red knows to bring specific kinds of tea because we've had a conversation about it. Like
oh man, yeah. Just don't bring that royal honey pack, man. Don't bring that joint. They'll be like, yo, I can't battle him tonight, man. Come on, man. You want me to stand in front of this? Pause. I ain't battling him. Wrong honey. Now that's a skit right there, yo. Somebody slips over royal honey. I can't perform tonight. Something's going crazy. I don't know what this feeling is. I took the wrong honey. That was for later. After the battle. I'm sorry, guys. I got my man JB in the building, man. This feels like old times. You know what I'm saying?
No. This is
keep going. We give you the ISO.
We're not on air. I'm glad they're getting this view of us. Like,
oh my gosh, I'm getting hyped, man. This is our first guest back, man. Talk to us about the rest of the battles that night. Let's give everyone an exclusive. I know you're behind the scenes, so can't get too crazy. But just highlights from the night. Who went off? Who was doing their thing? Who surprised you? What battles are stand out, and possibly what battle might be next? An LTBR exclusive.
Okay. Well, I honestly don't know if I can tell you which one's next because I don't know that we've picked, frankly. But I can definitely go over the night. Funny enough, like today, because I think we're aware at this point, I just take no days off. I'm definitely going to die young, but
don't say that, man.
I'll have good stories, so it's fine. Tonight I was helping DNA film that podcast series that he's been working on.
Oh yeah, the
Attitude Era
podcast, the AE podcast.
Yeah,
yes.
So we went over to Arsenal's studio. It's called Hit something. It's not Hit Squad. It's not Hit Factory. It's anyway. But it's a small studio that Arsenal has built in the last year.
Nice. Congrats to Arsenal.
Yeah, and we went over there and hung out and then shot some episodes of his show. But so shout out to them. But also it was an opportunity to kind of like for all of us in there, because there was a whole bunch of battle rappers there, to kind of like review the weekend in general. Mm-hmm. And of course the first thing we talked about was Friday night, and it was great. It was fucking great because there were a lot of arguments, which means it was a lot of close battles.
Nice.
Right? T-Top and Holmesy the God, universally everybody in the studio was like, oh yeah, Holmesy doesn't get enough credit. That was like, there was nobody in that room as controversial as people are willing to be, whether it's DNA or Arse or Calico or Nitty, like Hollow the Don was there, like all knowledgeable people. Nobody's really prepared to like, you know, undercut any of their battle rap credibility, right? Every one of them said that Holmesy is really underappreciated and super dangerous, and the arguments went back and forth about whether or not it was 2-1 Top or 2-1 Holmesy. Everybody kind of felt like the first round was really definitive. The third round was really definitive in the opposite direction. So it all comes down to that second round and how you see it. And that's where all the debates and fights were, because it was like, oh no, blah, 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 definitely got that. No, you didn't realize that he's, you know, that the other guy said this and said that and said this. And so it was like a really spirited debate. So those are the moments, you guys know me well enough. Those are the moments I get really excited about, because it means it's a really great battle. It's not just like a dunk for either one of them. And it's rewatch value, which to me is probably the most important thing in battle rap, as far as like helping these guys careers, which is the most important thing to me. So that battle was crazy. Is there any information that's already out there? I'm curious, like how much has left the private room? Like,
I heard that Sheed and Hustle is crazy. I heard that. And
let's talk about that. I will say that is the first that I can remember, the first truly physically aggressive intergender match that I've ever seen. Like
aggressive both ways?
Both ways. They were like,
oh man, in 2022,
Hustle just said there was some bumping
shoving
going on.
each other and fucking. It was so much goddamn fun. Like, yeah.
Salute to Sheed happens, man. I would be battling 3 feet away from women in 2022, man. Like, I ain't touching you at all. I'm standing over here and kick my raps.
Hustle's different. Hustle's different. She was with the shits. Like, you could tell she was like enjoying it as more than anybody. Like,
man.
Like, yeah, she's not regular people. She's not scared of anybody. So
hustle with the tussle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm with that. I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, that's that. I think everybody pretty much agreed that was battle of the night, which, to be fair, is really saying something, because they were all good battles.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, 5 racks on the line every time the battle drops, man. Yeah. I thought that was a nice little wrinkle thrown into that, because definitely there's still bragging rights there. You know what I mean? There's bragging rights and extra paper there. That's definitely more incentive. I got to say, with this one being the third time around, like it's really starting to gain some steam. And I think a lot of the heat leaving Orlando is like, and I think with that clip going super crazy, I mean, it's almost like 3,000 likes at this point, 70,000 views of Mike P going, you know, absolutely bonkers in that room. And it's like, people are like, oh, this is what's happening here. I got to check this out. Like, this is really something dope. And like the concept of it is fire, because I love rapid fire rapping when people don't have time to sit there and just like, oh, give me my flowers now while you scream for me. And then next thing you know, we got a 20-minute round. It's like, get to the point, give me the raps, and then be out. Like, how did the Litework concept come about? How did you guys put it together? Who's the brain trust behind Litework?
Well, the brain trust of Litework is honestly the same brain trust that it always is. There's not, for whether or not the battle rap community thinks that we're like Walmart or Apple computers, there's really like 6 or 8 people that work at URL full time. There's not like a lot of us, so it's just the family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chico Beasley Smack, just talking things through, and then bringing in people like P and myself and some of the quieter members of the family who don't necessarily like their names out there, but the names are out there. I just don't want to call them out. That get called in, and sometimes it is just a big idea session where over here we're just always trying to think of something that's innovative in some way. So it's been quite a while since we've seen, obviously the tournaments have brought back like the timed rounds, and that helps, but those are the timed rounds where we pause for crowd reaction and everything. This is that like older style that I think all of us kind of came up watching, at least at some point, where that clock's not stopping. Like, you just got to keep going. And that style, I think, even informed like early Smack DVD battles where you would see, like, I want to say it's Rex versus Uncasa, where like that I think is particularly noticeable, where like Rex is rapping crazy and people are screaming and he's still rapping underneath it. Because like the idea is no, you literally don't stop. Like, actually stopping at all, even if there's a car crash behind you, actually means you're kind of like tapping out. Like,
are you paying attention to that?
Yeah. And I think too, that's probably why from the first round of shoots that we did, why you see Arsenal and DNA doing particularly well. One, they're just sort of legends, but also they know that era. They know how to just
fly through it.
Yeah, to just push through it. To when the crowd gets loud, you just get louder and you bring them back to, oh shit, no, shut up. He's still rapping. Which kind of helps temper the crowd, and everybody reacts, but there's a lot more like t-shirt grabbing and like, oh, like there's a lot of that going on because we don't want to miss it.
Right.
Which is I would love to say we thought of all this and that was like how it was going to work out. We were just trying to do something different, trying to do something that was satisfying to people, that could be sort of consumed a little bit more easily than these like marathon battles that are happening on the big stage, where people are trying to out rap each other, they're trying to outright each other, and the crowd is like, I think it's fair to say these days a lot of the crowds are actively trying to be a factor in the battle.
These crowds are not having it. They're not having it anymore, yo. Yeah. It's like, I paid my bread. I am here for the show. I want you to impress me. But if I'm standing through, it's halfway through your round and you ain't saying nothing crazy yet, oh man, like you can't lose them, man. Not in this day and age anymore. Like, there's too much content out there to lose people.
Mm-hmm. And it's you'll notice, like, you guys from the New York era where we were in New York all the time. If you show up on the road, like at that the last Charlotte event, what you'll notice is, despite the fact that the crowd is all screaming at the top of their lungs to turn the mics up, the mics are louder than they've ever been in battle rap history. But they just don't know to shut the fuck up, because they're new. I mean, we all welcome new people because that's new income, new family, new parts of the culture. It's great. It's not a bad thing, but it is funny to watch people who have always been watching it on the live stream or on YouTube or whatever, not realizing that one of the reasons why the crowd aspect of the show is so kind of dynamic and electric is because they're damn near silent until the crazy haymaker happens. And then it's, whoa! It goes from nothing to, 108 decibels. Like, it just boom, right? So when you're in Charlotte and there's a lot of, there's a lot of OG fans there, you recognize them. Like, which is kind of great too, because we get to have that rapport. But there's a lot of fucking new people who are just like, who thought like that you could just stand at the bar and try to pick up women and hear Fonz rap.
That sounds like a terrible recipe.
Yeah, you gotta shut your fucking mouth. Like,
yo, baby, I see you over there with that fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know why they call pallbearers? Oh, hold on, baby, hold on, because they dead. Like, yeah, oh, damn, you heard that? But like I was saying, baby, no, you can't do that, man.
No, if you want to pick up women at a battle rap event, your stare game, your wink game better be crazy, because you can't talk. You can't hang out. You can't be like, where are y'all from? He can hear that on stage. Shut the fuck up. It's not part of this. He can hear you.
Yo.
It's real life. It's honestly one of the reasons why I've been looking forward to going to the Irving Plaza thing. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute. Is like the New York crowd, well, at least the former New York crowd. I'm sure there's a lot of new folks coming in, but man. they know, like they just know that they've got to zip it while people are heating up.
Right.
You know?
I gotta ask you, going back to that, going from 0 decibels to 108 decibels, right? Mm-hmm. That is something that you cannot feel at home. I don't care how many battles you've watched. I don't care how much you are into this culture. The live experience is something, the live experience in general, yes, but then the live experience in a big crowd is something that I feel like every battle rap fan, if they can, should and has to experience. Now, this is just going a little off track. Do you feel like if someone is a member of media or a blogger or something like that, should you have to attend at least one major event like in the course of your career, or do you feel like it's fair to just never have attended an event, sit at home, and not understand the dynamics of what it's like in the building and why people can have a whole other outcome of the battle compared to you who's at home?
Do you want me to be nice or you want me to be truthful?
No, yo, we're being truthful, man. I ain't come back for the niceness. You know what I'm saying? I came back to be honest. You know what I mean?
All right, I'll give you like a teaspoon of nice, and it's legitimate. I believe it. I genuinely believe it to be true, which is I understand why people from smaller markets or people who don't have a lot of spare cash still want to participate in the battle rap community that they love. I get that. So I would never knock anybody who just loves battle rap, consumes it all fucking day long, has the app, has caffeine, watches the other leagues on YouTube, like goes on the Chinese websites and fucking does all the bootlegs. You fucking assholes. Anyway, but like, is it like a ravenous battle rap lunatic, like the three of us, right?
A pure degenerate.
I would never. Yeah, right. Yeah, like we've strained personal relationships because of our love and shit. Like,
oh yeah,
come to bed and it's like, well, I would, babe, but you know, they just dropped Daylight versus Charlie Clips, so I'm not really going to be available this afternoon for dinner like you thought we were going to be. But anyway, so there are people like that who might be from Sioux City, you know, right. Iowa or whatever the fuck.
And you know what? And
whatever.
And I really don't mean to cut you off, but and to those people, I will say this: I get that, and if you can, go support your local small league. Go check it out. That's how you show your love. If you can't travel all the way to New York or Cali or Florida, go at least support a local league and just experience it live one time for me. You know what I mean? Pick the best league in your area, whatever state that could be in, and go travel and see the best event that you can in that. Now continue. Sorry, brother.
No. You completed my thought in a lot of ways.
I didn't want the brothers from Sioux City Falls coming at me, you know?
Right.
Good disclaimer.
Especially because we just said the name of their city all fucking wrong.
I'm like, you know, I might be traveling through there one day. I don't want no problems there.
Right. No, and so that's the thing. Like, yeah, one, support your local battle leagues because they need you, right? Like, the Connects Battle League, which I would say is probably the most successful, but there was also a Throne Room and a few other attempts and stuff that'll bubble up later too.
Right.
In Kansas City. I'm just shouting out all those guys because that's a relatively small community of people who tenaciously and without any real profit have managed to put together battles that are some of people's favorite battles. That's the league that Aye Verb came out of, right?
Yep.
That's the city that's you know, that's why that's my hometown guy forever. Is you know, due to that league and due to their willingness to work their asses off and never make a fucking dime off of it. They just did it for the love. So I love the small leagues. I love small markets and what it contributes to the culture. So while we're talking about bloggers, that's part of it, right? If you're from Memphis or something, it might not be advantageous, or it might not be possible to follow me out to LA every goddamn time I have an event out there, right? I understand that. That being said, if you're going to be a commentator, blogger, news, blah, 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 whatever, and you are from whatever your circumstances in life where you're not capable of going to events, don't be a fucking asshole. Like, that's what this is about. Like, you can't talk crazy to people you are never going to meet and be considered a decent person. To me, go fuck yourself. Like, that's an insane thing to do. You take an art form that you clearly love and actually actively tear it down for like Twitter likes and horse shit like that, because I know you're not making any fucking money off your YouTube page, so you're just being a dick for the, like, to get agreement from other insecure people who are shitting on active artists and league owners who are trying their ass off to keep this culture afloat. Which, to be clear, is, no matter what league you're talking about, a really tough job. So the idea of being like, what's the big deal? It's just that his mom died. Like, I want to be clear. I want to slap you in your mouth, and I wouldn't mind. Like, fuck you. That's a crazy thing to do. Like, so that your 1,200 fucking Twitter followers go, yay, and you get this weird rush of dopamine because you got approval. Go fuck yourself. You're like, you could say something positive like you guys do for the most part, right? I mean, we all give everybody a little bit of shit. It's part of the culture, right?
It's but part, like, of being human.
Talking crazy to people that you don't know, and be sure that you're not doing that in part because you know you're safe and they don't know where you live.
Right.
If you couldn't say something to somebody's face, it's a ridiculous notion that you could say it on the internet.
Yeah, man. And I find, like, when you actually go, your respect factor for the art goes up another level, because you're seeing what it actually takes to survive under these conditions. Because when you're home, you don't see how hot the lights are, like how close the people are. Like, you know, I used to crack jokes. Oh, Ace, I mean, you can't stand the smoke. This is battle rap. Like, people smoke everywhere in battle rap. Like, but then you're standing there and you see how cloudy it can get up there. And if you're someone who's allergic to smoke and everyone's blowing plumes in your face, you're like, yo, fools got to fight through a lot up there, man. Like, it's not easy. So it gives you that respect for the art form that's actually going on, that you can't feel that at home. You know what I mean? You can't get that same energy, and that rush is just not quite the same, man.
Yeah. And the reason, and honestly, the reason, like, one of the reasons we all love it is part and parcel to all that. Like, it's a very raw nerve type of art form, right? There's no fucking music playing. There's no music playing. There's just somebody who wrote some shit in their bedroom, like, nervous about what you think about it.
Right.
If you don't like it, you don't have to be awful. You know what I mean? And when they perform it in front of, like, Irving Plaza is what, 1,200, 1,400, something like that, people, that's a lot. And then now the guys that are here are keenly aware of my camera and the fact that there is literally up to 2 million people on the other side of my camera lens. That's insane. Could you go to work knowing 2 million people were staring at you? It's crazy. The idea that anyone ever gets through their round, when you put it in that context, the idea that anyone ever gets through anything is kind of fucking nuts. No?
That is kind of wild, man. That is kind of wild.
I couldn't do it.
Or like 2 million people watching you like, yo, man, he's got to make this bottle and he's got to take the kid off of the countertop right now, like not drop anything. There's 2 million people watching. You better not spill nothing and you better not drop that kid, man. It's
hell yeah. I wouldn't work at Wendy's if there were 2 million people watching me.
Is he gonna burn the fries? Like that burger gotta get flipped, burger end up on the floor. No,
I mean,
man,
y'all must guess on some level how nerve-wracking it is for me being responsible for that stream to 2 million people or whatever the fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're not even looking at me.
Yeah,
I just know if it goes down, even if it's not my fault, it's my fault.
It's your fault. Yeah, always that blame, man.
Yeah,
always that blame. Ah, man.
I do want to ask, right? Like, so we're talking about like media and all this. Over the last couple of years, we have an explosion of battle rappers now becoming media, right? Thanks to all like the caffeine deals and everybody starting their own shows and realizing how to monetize their own brand. And while I love that they're taking back, the control and the power that they probably should have been doing for a long time, it doesn't come without flaws neither. You know what I'm saying? The media landscape, when battlers are behind the lens telling the story, sometimes, in my opinion, it isn't always as clear as day as they like to make it seem. You know what I mean? Like, they still have relationships to cultivate. You know what I'm saying? They still have battles they have to try to campaign for. You know what I mean? They're some of them are in crews. So like there is levels of like biasness and narrative controlling, right? Not just us. It also comes from you guys too. and overall, like, how do you feel about the landscape now that we have like everybody having a caffeine show, everybody having a show, everybody doing their lives, like battle rappers in media?
Shout out to my bosses for putting together the caffeine relationship. I think not enough is made about the fact that the caffeine relationship not only allows people to watch an extraordinary and completely unprecedented amount of free live streams, and also helps pay my rent, which is nice.
Mine too.
That fact is not lost on me, right?
Battle rap been very, very good to me.
Right. It's been okay. Let's not go crazy.
Sammy Sosa. Battle rap very good to me.
Jesus.
Sammy Sosa's a white man now, friends. This is crazy.
It's a little troubling. Yeah, it looks like looks wild. Yeah, it looks like the last section of a very weird, like surrealistic horror movie. Like it's not good. I don't know what's going on.
It's like the last slice of the bag of bread at the end. It's like, oh damn, like
oh man, he looked like a Total Recall goon or something, man. Like he looked Sammy looked crazy, man. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I took us off track. I'm sorry, man.
Oh no. This is how we talk. It's perfectly fine.
Facts.
People who are enjoying this version of the podcast right now, they're like our best friends.
They're driving
lifelong friends.
They're driving into work right now, just like spilling that coffee, man, laughing at
salivating.
This is nerd talk. I love it, man.
What was the fucking original question? I've lost it completely.
So you know what?
I'm just thinking about how wild Sammy Sosa looks.
Overall, I was just asking like, what's your thoughts on battlers and like media? But I'm gonna take it up a notch.
Okay,
all three of us.
Hey,
let's discuss briefly what are the pros and cons of battlers being in media.
Okay. So let me do my little happy intro here, and then we can shit on it if we want to. The caffeine relationship has, like I said, not only opened up this opportunity for us as battle rap fans to watch almost a cartoonish amount of live stream battle rap, right? But it's also because of their willingness to sort of be part of the culture and want other aspects of the battle rap culture other than just URL participating means a lot of people have gotten shows on caffeine that are supported through, I mean, you guys know, honestly, probably more about some of that than I do, the Scion deals and all these kind of like aspects of that have brought in thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars across the landscape of battle rap. And then even there are like these great little small channels that just do like watches and kind of talk and chat. I people know I hop on those channels all the time. I don't know who the fuck these people are from a can of paint, but they're sitting there watching like some great URL battle or KOTD battle or old grind time battle, or they download crazy stuff like, you know, old battle rap tournaments and stuff from long defunct organizations and watch it. And I'll hop on there and you get to give them like those props, and that represents a little bit of bread for them and stuff. There's a lot of money flying around, and clearly some of the people who we've advocated to have some of that income flow are battle rappers, and it has added a lot of entertainment. Am I wrong? Like it's definitely
great insight
been good shit. Obviously Champion has done well over there as well, and stuff like that. So I'm happy that I mean, you guys know my whole intent is always for, and I don't think anybody who knows me would say otherwise, is anything other than just trying to get everybody to succeed. And that definitely always includes income stream. So I'm super excited that, like, you know, Nitty has his podcast, and that Surf was doing really well, Free the Wave, that a lot of these people are my personal friends. I'm so happy that all of them have opportunities. Now, your other question is, what does that do for the media landscape?
Yeah, like let's talk about some pros and cons of battlers.
I mean, y'all would know better than me, but I'm guessing it means you have to work a lot harder. That you have to be really on point with your arguments if they can sort of argue back. That you have to find a way to make your points, stand up for yourselves, but also it's a little bit more direct with the fuck yous. You know, when you say something they don't like, which for me personally, I always like those type of moments, just because I love disagreeing with someone who might win the argument. It means I have to be really fucking on point.
Yeah, but sharp, yeah.
So I like that. Now tell me why it sucks. Because I'm sure you're right. I'm sure it's really difficult. So please.
I just feel like, you know, you are 1 foot in, 1 foot out still. So like you can give the best insight, but there is a jaded view. You know what I mean? I do feel like there is a perspective, and not saying one is greater than the other, but when somebody is a journalist, not an artist, as opposed to somebody who is an artist, they're going to look at the exact same picture completely differently, right? And doesn't mean that my view of it is greater than your view, or vice versa. But the point is, there's a disconnect between our views because we don't process this the exact same way. And that gets interesting to me because it's like, I feel like they kind of diminish sometimes like what that other view may be. Or sometimes battle rappers that are in media do the things to their peers that they don't like being done to them. Like giving...
I would say pretty much universally.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen it happen where like I've been to URL private events, like the ones in Orlando, where I've seen who's in attendance, and I've seen what battle rappers aren't in attendance. And then the ones that aren't in attendance will be like, oh, I heard this person won. And it's like, hey, you weren't there. Like, you wouldn't want somebody talking about your battle when they weren't there, saying if you won or lost. You know,
right.
You know. So then it's like, why would you do it? Oh, I get it. Now you know, you got hours to make up. You got content to make. you know how to push the button. You know, people hearing it from you that it might matter. So like, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it all. I'm not saying it is. I love that they're in media. I want them to see it, and it's like, oh, this isn't as easy as you think that it is, and just because you're in it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think a lot of it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JB.
No, I really, it was just a follow-up question, which is I'm wondering, and the answer could definitely be no, but has it made any of the battle rappers who now have to like do hours and do commentary and stuff. Has there been a shift in any of them where they seem to now understand how hard you guys have to work to create the content and report honestly?
Yeah, absolutely. They see when their words like really like. I think a great example was shouts to Misfit when she was on My Expert Opinion, and she was like, "Man, I think Rum Nitty's overrated." And then she just got attacked by all the Rum Nitty fans for like a week straight.
Nitty committee was at her neck.
And it's like, listen, man, this is what it comes with. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you said it on the blog, if you weren't, like, people probably still be like, oh, but, you know, they see it as just a battler being competitive. We can eat that. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you're just on your timeline talking shit, if you're just getting interviewed by somebody talking shit. But once you have a platform and you express that, then everybody starts to harp on you like, oh, hold on, why are you creating this? Like, people don't feel this way. And then, you know, that was one great example. And we go through many. So.
No, and it's good for them too, because now they get a chance to create narratives also. You know what I mean? So now they get some pushback. They get to say, well, this media or that media or these people or that. And I'm like, you know, I think there's also a fine line between what is journalism and what is content creation, you know, and what is just sharing your personality. You know what I mean? Because some people don't want to confirm things with two other people to corroborate a story. They don't want to do the background checks. They don't want to, you know, look into paperwork or do this or do that. They just want to say, this is what I heard. This is what I feel. Now, you know, if someone is doing that, you just got to take that with a grain of salt as, okay, this isn't necessarily just pure unfiltered, unbiased journalism. This is just someone's opinion on things. And I think once you separate like what you're watching, then you can properly digest it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I mean, I like, not to make this like too esoteric, but like pretty sure everything you just described is things we're actually dealing with in mass media in general.
Right. Yeah, because it's a whole new ball game now.
The line between commentary or not, I think the line's still very definitive, but what people recognize as being
yes,
opposed to a opinion publication.
Yes.
People are like, well, so the guy who's saying those opinions, he didn't actually do
nothing. He just listened to someone else and just
like, no, he's just a guy with thoughts. Aren't you that too? There's a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, especially now with the smartphone, anyone can be whatever they want. They just got to turn it on. And if you have an audience, and if the audience doesn't know any better, you're now the truth teller. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it gets crazy because like you see it now. It's, you know, my dad, he watched Walter Cronkite. If Walter Cronkite said something, everyone believed this was the truth. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like you've got a million versions of the same story. And it's like, who do I want to listen to? Who's, you know, strikes my ear more and stuff like that. And it's a wild time now. If you're not, you know, at least checking out multiple platforms to at least cross-check or doing some research on your own, like people could tell you anything and you could believe it. In 100 years, who's going to know what was a real picture and what was just a meme? Like pictures get changed so often that you don't even know what's real anymore. Like it's actually a little scary, man. Like how crazy everything is going to get in just like 10, 20 years. It's going to be nuts.
Absolutely. And I think a rush for newness is a big thing too. I mean, you see, and this isn't even faulting anybody, but you see it in the battle rap community, in the media side of things, that people have shifted from even going and doing very many interviews with battle rappers and stuff to screen captures of a space that they weren't even necessarily participating in. And I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong, but that shows a rush for newness, you know, like people are looking for these sort of bite-sized encapsulations of something that already that sort of happened a few minutes ago, but I wasn't on my lunch break yet, so I didn't get to tune in, you know. So like, go ahead and screen capture that for me, put that out real quick, and and I don't know anyone who's doing that honestly wouldn't rather be doing something more in depth. That's kind of the funny part of it, is that anyone that I can think of that does that on a regular basis has actually spent a lot of time like in the trenches, going to fucking calling me and find out where the hotel is that all the battle rappers are at, going there and doing 9 hours worth of interviews. But what people are clicking on is that sort of short attention span stuff.
We're a media platform in a lot of ways. We obviously make our own content. We're in the field. We're content aggregators, and I'm going to be the first one to say, like, there is an extreme open lane for content aggregators in battle rap, just for the simple fact that, like, a battle's 46 minutes long. Everybody does not have the full 46 minutes to watch it. So what do? They go listen to their favorite media personality to give them the synopsis of it. They don't have time to watch an interview from LTBR, Black Compass, and Champion all on the same day. So what do? They try to find a way to get the most important news stories and headlines from those three places. So, like, once you've made this landscape of, like, making everything convenient for people in battle rap, because everything in battle rap, I don't want to say is inconvenient, but it just takes a commitment that not everybody has. Like, when you watch a sport, like, maybe might have a highlight of it for like 2 to 10 minutes. You could watch 2 10 minutes of little highlights of somebody that you liked in the game, a player or the full team. You can always open up your ESPN app and see the box score and see the score and see the shot chart and the field goal percentage and all that. But with battle rap, there's no way to, like, just pull up a battle and say, did Geechee actually beat this person? Did Rum Nitty actually beat this person? Like, there's no way to do that. You know what I mean? So once you find a way to make all this bite size for battle rap, it's a gift and a curse, because everybody loves it for, like, oh, I can stay in touch with all these guys all at once. But then the curse is, like, you don't have the full context sometimes.
Yeah. No, I think that's about right.
Oh, man. JB, you see what I have in my hands here, right? Pause, right? This is it sounded kind of crazy, right? The Quest, the Oculus.
Not until you said pause. I was like, but yeah, no, I'm glad we clarified that.
Listen, the people can't see what's in my hands, man. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. So to clarify, he is holding an Oculus
Quest 2 in my hands. Now, I love it.
That's the only thing,
dude.
All right.
I love the Oculus. I just got myself a basketball game. Also, like, I play all the games. It's crazy. And you can have anything going on in these worlds. What is the future for battle rap and the metaverse? There is a lane that is so big there that I'm just like, what's happening? There's so many things that can be done. Is there plans for the future for the metaverse and battle? Or can you see it all coming together in the future? Put it that way. Can you see the battle rap and the metaverse combining to make something special happening?
Honestly, you guys would have to catch me up, and you probably should right now on all things metaverse.
Okay,
but I will sort of say this as an attempt to not duck your question in any way. Our company is massively tech curious and tech savvy, and we keep stepping towards stuff like that. I mean, I think you can sort of see that playing out with even the things that end up sort of controversial, caffeine or our own private subscription app, divesting from YouTube and moving towards things that are more entrepreneurial. Clearly, that's an interest of URL. Chico in particular, who is a person that people don't get to see because he's intentionally sort of quiet and anonymous and masked up, working on high level things, is a huge fan of tech in general, just techie shit. Like, he's the guy who has the iPhone like a week before the public does. Like, how the fuck did you? And he's like, don't worry about it.
Right.
So we are very, very, like, very into the idea of stepping into more tech.
So picture this. So, all right, boom. URL got a bunch of new guys and stuff, and there's a bunch of degenerates. We all got our headsets. And you're like, you know what? Friday the 28th, here's an event with, 8 battlers on it. you know what I'm saying? This is such and such Horizon venue you can pull up to. Be there at 8:30. I put my headset on, boom. I turn to the left. There's France. I could give France a pound and you will feel like the actual pound happening. I can talk to him. I can talk to you. We all can stand there in a semicircle, blah, 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 while the MCs are actually rapping and have a sense and a feel that you're in an actual battle room environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not just like you're watching the avatars on the screen. You're here, you're in there.
Right.
And me just playing the games and interacting with people on there in real time, like you lose the sense that you're not in the quote unquote real world and you really jump into this world. And I'm just like, yo, you can throw an event, sell electronic tickets, and people can show up and you can give exposure to so many people that maybe not be ready, you know, just yet, but people still want that home. It's like having your own little We Go Hard you can go to and not have to leave your house. So if you want that experience, if you want to understand, like, why is this place so crazy? Why are people going crazy? Like when they, like the other Midwest thing they used to have in Milwaukee, where everyone Bankhead used to go crazy. You want to go to that? You can jump to Milwaukee and go to ice, you know, the Black Ice Cartel event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can jump from place to place, go to events, network with people, and it's like being in the real world. And you know, for those times where you just want to have extra things happening, or if you have a podcast, you can sit down, put on your goggles. France and I are having a podcast. JB pulls up. Next thing you know, Smack's here. This person's here. That person's here. And it's all in a, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much you can do, man. Like, it's so crazy.
I think anything that promotes the remote consumption and engagement of battle rap is good. You can just, I mean, the pandemic with caffeine damn near saved so many people from like their depression. It was like, oh, we have battles we can watch. So first start with the Skype.
Oh my God, yeah.
Then it started with UM1, right? And then it felt like a full college season where like every day at 2:00 from 2 to 4, you know, you got battles. Your favorite content creators might make videos. And then fast forward a year later, we get the locker room apps, right? The Clubhouses, Spotify Green Rooms, and the Twitter Space. And Twitter Space takes battle rap, the battle rap culture by storm to the point where now there is virtual Twitter Space leagues and there's talent coming from these leagues. People can watch.
Yeah. No, I love that, by the way. Like, I love everything you're talking about. And yeah, it won't surprise you guys either to know that and I can say this, we can make this an exclusive. I have definitely done like test runs, like proof of concept with a lot of stuff like that. 360, like there's a couple of tech companies that I've dealt with in the past that are really getting good at live streaming 360 cameras, where you can tap in from that location of that 360 camera and be watching a live event with minimal lag, and yeah, be there and turn your head around and participate and bring a chat in where you're talking to other people who are watching it the same way and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I love shit like that. Like, it's funny because we were talking about the very like analog experience of actually being in the room and how important that is. But and you're right. But also, like, I think it is important for all of us to remember that we do sort of think about battle rap from like an American perspective. Like, it's just us here, and we, you know, like you could take a train or a bus or a plane and get to a battle rap event and watch it. But we really do have a worldwide reach.
Exactly.
There are some of the most ravenous battle rap fans on other continents that don't get the opportunity to watch us in any way that maybe feels participatory. Sometimes I kind of shit on like the live comment sections and stuff because controversial statements get upvoted and stuff, or, you know.
But that's how everyone feels like they're all together and a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
that's my point. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when, like, when you jump into the metaverse, it's like, okay, you could have someone from the UK, someone from Australia, someone from Africa, and we literally can be sitting next to one another, interacting, slapping high fives, going crazy when somebody drops a bar, pushing each other. Like I went to the Horizons NBA space or whatever. So you pull up and it's like they give you this view of the game. So you're watching the game, but then next to you are all sorts of people just coming through, and you're just like, oh yeah, what's up? Oh, that play was crazy, and blah blah blah. So it's like you actually feel like you're there. And I'm like, for battle rap, this makes so much sense because you can bring everyone from around the world into a specific room, and they can have their community feel and experience what it's like to be there live without being there live. Yeah. In a sense, you know what I'm saying? But now it takes that interaction to another level, man. Like it's gonna happen next, man. And I'm just saying we're gonna be there on the forefront, man. It's gonna happen next.
No, I think you're right. And you can kind of take that and flip it around on the other side. Some of the other meetings that we've taken recently were with broadcasting studios or streaming studios that have big interactive like LED wraparound walls, like how they make the new Star Wars movies and stuff, where everything's sort of wrapped around. Yeah. But there are like you can have like a virtual backdrop, which is amazing, right? But also like mid event or mid battle, even if you wanted, or when we go to the commentary area or something like that. You could literally like that whole backdrop could shift, and all of a sudden you see, Zoom cameras type stuff like popping up, a la the, but they could actually be more participatory. So let's say Jay Black, for instance, is standing in the center of this full wraparound thing. He could actually call out to parts of the country and just be like, zoom in there. Oh, right. It looks like blah, blah, blah has a question. Call that person out. And then my audio guy could like bring up their mic, and that person could talk directly to Tay-Rock as he gets off stage.
Wow.
And that's, we've already done proof of concept on that stuff. Now, of course, as soon as I said that, people will be like, why haven't you done that shit yet? This stuff is, guys,
stuff is very, very detailed and nuanced.
Takes time, man.
Expensive. Mm-hmm. It's complicated. You don't get everything you want just because you want it. If I don't get to have it the second I want it, neither do you. We're working on it. You know what I mean? But yeah, technology in general is just something that I think we're really fucking always have an eye on participating in further. It's a company that's born out of technological breakthroughs. So why wouldn't we keep stepping forward?
Exactly. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to say the future is bright, and with that segue of the future being bright, what I'm saying? You guys are closing out the year with 8 events in the next 10 weeks.
Jeez Louise.
Holy shit, France, why did you have to tell me that?
He's the numbers man.
You saw, did you see the myriad flyer, the multiple flyer?
Oh, I seen it.
Yo, somebody
what is it? Is it 8? Is it 8 events?
It's 8 events in that mug, you know what I mean?
So let's go over it. So Litework.
Yeah.
Then I went to sleep, then I woke up and did band.
Yeah.
Then I did face-offs. Is it public knowledge yet? Oh, fuck it, whatever. Then we did face-offs for volume 10.
Okay.
After the band event. Then this coming week are final exams. Shout out to my partner P. That's my brother forever, no matter what you assholes ever shitty things you have to say about my guy. Yeah. That's my guy. And he has talked about innovation. He's innovated once again, and pushed for a new opportunity, sort of a new framing of the like rookies versus vets type of idea, but it adds in, P can't help himself but make something more elaborate and flashy and crazy. So of course there's like judges and people, we just had a conversation about maybe trying to live stream the judges segments without necessarily live streaming the battles. Y'all might have to, wait on that just a little bit. But live streaming just segments of what's happening so that, again, it can be a little bit participatory, and just see a little bit of that chaotic fun feeling that comes with like vets being in the building, seeing new guys. I think a lot of times people forget, because when it comes time to promo, veteran people always shit on new guys. The fact of the matter is, when somebody who's brand new goes crazy, every vet in the building is like punching each other in the fucking shoulder. Like, they lose their mind because they're bigger battle rap fans than anybody. No offense to you or me, they're bigger battle rap fans than anyone you've ever met, because they know what goes into crafting an insane bar. They know. So I'll sort of circle back around really quick. Swervo battled Tay-Rock on Litework.
Word?
Wow. People don't know.
That's a come up for Swervo. Good grief.
And he held his own. It was fucking crazy. He walked away from that battle with Tay-Rock's respect, with Arsenal's respect, with DNA's respect. He already had my respect, but he definitely leveled up. Smack's respect. Like, he is nuts. And like, immediately, like at dinner afterwards, we're talking about like, what's next for Swervo? What should we push? Because he showed that he belongs, like, in a way that was not controversial. Like, there was you didn't walk away from that going like, well, maybe he's okay. No, he was crazy in that battle.
As a stakeholder in Swervo's Equity LLC, you know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of what our client was able to accomplish that weekend. You know, I mean, I'm a big Swervo fan, so I'm happy about this.
Yeah. No, that's
I gotta see this battle.
He's the man. And I'm really, really proud to know that guy and to call him a friend. He stepped up. It was disgusting. But to get back on track a little bit, that's that same energy I honestly believe will be there at final exams. I think there are people that are showing crazy promise, and probably a few people that have been overlooked already, which is easy with this many fucking battle rappers out in the world to get overlooked, that will out of nowhere kind of have like a Swervo or a Stumbles or a Kid Slade kind of moment where all of a sudden you're like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, all right, this guy's going to be a problem.
Stumbles is a major problem right about now, man.
Right?
Listen, I've told France this several times. This dude's, the way the stars align for him, for everything that has happened, good, bad, or indifferent, it has created the perfect recipe for a new star to be born. I haven't seen someone go from barely getting any recognition from the supporters of, URL, right? From the first time he was in the tournament, to going through the altercation, to bouncing back, to damn near almost beating Real Sick, to beating Snake Eyes, to getting the belt, to getting into a beef with the biggest battle rapper who's now embroiled in something crazy. So this is like the last memory that folks are having, that you're entangled in this, and he's doing damn good. Like, he stepped his game up and he's delivering, and he lost his dad. Rest in peace to his dad. Like, and now he's going to be, unless there's a surprise battle at Homecoming, which I don't know about, but he's going to be opening up the card. And this is like nuts to think about where he was just 7-8 months ago to where he is now. It's like, damn, son, like, he really took advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, like, on some level, when the window opened up for Stumbles, he jumped through that bitch. It was like, you're never getting me out now.
Both feet, even him retiring, quote unquote retiring, is like, this is some old vet move that
I know.
He's like, I'm retiring, I'm out of here. And I'm like, yo, man, this is so dope to see it happen to someone who probably didn't even think that it was. I'm not gonna say he didn't think it was gonna happen for him, but I don't think he thought that maybe in this, quick of a time that I can have the entire cultures attention like that, and now I'm respected. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no more jokes. Like he can ascend to another level with a great performance on this stage, a fresh crowd ready to hear that gutter talk. Like, it can get crazy, man.
Yeah, and I don't know, not to overdo it, but again, I want to shout out my guy P, like, because he is like, we all love Stumbles now, right? But it was a challenge to feel like he was gonna really be able to be this thing. And his name was Stumbles, for God's sakes. Like he legitimately would stumble through a lot of his rounds. And the stuff he was saying was really potent, but that's not a thing haven't seen before, where a guy says crazy stuff but can't quite adapt
keep it together,
to the URL pressure cooker thing that we have here, right? But P relentlessly pushed his name in meetings about names that should be on cards and people who should be given opportunities, and P fucking made that happen. And to Stumble's credit, he did deliver when he was advocated for. He's delivered, and
absolutely.
And I'm very proud of him for that, and very impressed with P, that he was able to fight basically everybody, advocating for Stumble like that.
Big shout outs to P, you know what I'm saying? And on the slew of events you guys have coming in the year, Survivor Series is there. And who came from Survivor Series? Stumbles, and Easy.
Yep.
But even though we have a couple other things on the list as well, Traffic, Civil War, Homecoming, but Band, your baby is back. And I need to make sure we give Black Market Media their entire flowers for Band, because it, like when you look at the first installment of it, took Jack Boy to new heights. Later on, Saga went on his illustrious run, and then you stop to think about what Band Legacy did, like this whole battle rap festival we had damn near 3 years ago already. In a couple months, it'll be 4 years? Crazy.
Right.
But some of the names that we love now, or at least they were very talented to show a lot of promise, people like Your Honor, people like Swamp. We're loving Swamp now. Kid Chaos, who's been a top guy.
Right.
Coffee and Flames have come from the Band Legacies, right?
That's easily one of my proudest moments, is Coffee and Flames. People don't talk about it enough. Maybe we didn't make a big enough deal about it, but that battle is retarded. They look like they're gonna hook off on each other or stab each other or something the entire time. You don't know that later they're gonna have this platonic lady love thing, but they do not seem like that at the time. It looks not okay.
Of course, Ace Amin, Luke
Ace
Castro,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So listen to all these names 4 years ago. People were like, oh, well, they're band battles. I'm not too familiar with these guys. And 4 years later, a lot of these names that I just said are either top 10 on the URL app or have been the top 20 battle rapper, have main evented on the league, have been on big stages. You know what I mean? So you single-handedly, not just you, the whole Black Market Media, I want to say you guys single-handedly started to plant the seed for the future of the league way before anybody realized what was about to happen. And in a matter of a year, and you and one, almost all those guys got the biggest opportunity to shine. A lot of them ran with it. You ever look back at that moment just wow, this was a real turning point here for what we were about to develop at URL with all these guys?
Hell yes. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it's the coolest part of all this, is every now and again when things are quiet, which is usually for about 10 fucking minutes on a Wednesday afternoon, P and I do get an opportunity, or it's right after an event when there's just nothing to do until tomorrow morning. We do get an opportunity to go, Jesus, how the hell did we get here? And a lot of that is born from his early advocacy for the Born Legacy series, and then that being birthed into, I would say, Born Legacy 5 is, I think, whoever knows that was kind of my first time of not being part of URL but directing completely, sort of top to bottom, a URL event, and you can see the sort of elevation that I was able to bring to it at the time. And then the people that we were advocating for in the Born Legacy system, and then some of the people who were being overlooked even in that, and then me kind of bringing in my like extra gritty aesthetic, and frankly some of my own money, some of P's own money. Hennyman actually was an early investor in some of the early stuff we did, and shout out to Hennyman. And that's where, you know, the early like Jackboy versus Steam's battle, and MacMel versus franchise, like
Franchise, another name, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm leaving some name off the board, and if I did, apologize. But
no. I mean, honestly, I forget sometimes.
Yeah,
like you could have put drugs on there. You could have put a lot of people on there.
Yeah, and a lot of those band battles actually launched the app. Like the app was launched on a lot of those battles. Yeah,
absolutely. And people kind of like, I don't forget because it was a lot of fucking work, but like people don't really realize that we did 3-day events in Richmond, which was the Band Legacy series, in
the span of 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say within like half a year.
And let me just say the first one, man, was a wild weekend.
The first one was a lot. I know you had a good time that weekend.
Yeah, y'all cannot see the smile on Francis' face right now.
He's never given me details, but I know he had a great weekend.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
I know, right? That's cool.
I was in festival mode.
A lot of royal honey, friends, on some biscuits.
There's definitely some honey on biscuits.
Hello. Good for you, man.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
And no, it's okay. But yeah, so band is back. Yes. The band battles that we did over the weekend are, I think it's fine to say, they're one rounders, but they're like hefty one rounders. Nobody just kind of came in and rapped for 2 minutes and then yelled Jersey. Like it was, you know, the people were definitely trying to take each other's heads off in that room.
Yeah,
I don't know. The names aren't out yet, right? The names
No.
Photos are out. Photos are out. You know what I mean? Photos are out.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You know,
well, then it must be true. So,
you know, I'll just say this. You know, I was excited to see Nun and Big T, because I'm like, damn, I don't feel like Nun gets enough opportunities. This is only his 9th battle this year. So I was like, wow, like this is great.
The sarcasm was painful.
You had me there for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't see none of the left this year. Guy,
Nun is a fierce advocate for himself, and he does a very good job of showing and proving, but then also like,
I don't know. I just feel like we can see him more.
You haven't had enough yet, friends?
If you ask
want to see more?
He's got a warrior mentality, and he's always trying to be on the card. Like he's always trying to be on the card.
Listen, none. I ain't mad at you, man. Do what you need to do, brother. Like, listen,
it's just a joke. No. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, shouts to Nun because he is one battle away from tying Geechee's record. Geechee had 10 battles in 1 year, and Nunna's now what? So he's one battle away from tying Geechee's record of most battles in the year on the league. So you know, Nunna, there's a bunch of cards. Nunna, you see the flyers.
2 more months left, baby. You get in 2 more battles. Let's go.
I will tell you this, right? So
2 more, baby. 2 more.
I will tell you this. So we're in the room shooting the band battles. And at some point in the room, I said out loud, "Oh yeah, we've got Volume 10, and then we've got Civil War." And he goes, "Am I? Which ones of these am I booked on?" Like immediately, like he hadn't even done his battle yet. He should be like super zen focused on his shit, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this one already. Tell me about the next one." Like he's ready to fight all the time, and clearly that's worked for him. You know, I feel like the more Nun is working, the better he is. And I think that's reasonable to say, right?
Absolutely. Got to respect, especially coming from where he came from, the accident, losing his trucking company, like going, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. And now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? He's like, he's
No,
book,
look,
man.
he comes from the underrated, in my opinion, one of the underrated PG classes of URL, the 2015 class. Like people like Emerson Kennedy, Jerry West. Obviously, everybody knows Av is a standout from that class. Also, Tink the Demon. A lot of those guys, Tink, Mike, Jerry, and none included, are having a great resurgence this year. They're having highlight performances, good wins. You just seen Michael, he just did on Litework. Tink just beat Danny Myers on Litework. You know,
Yo, can we take like a brief moment and acknowledge like the insane uptick in Tink the Demon fandom in recent years? Like in the recent year, like that motherfucker went from scaring the shit out of everybody to like he's like I'm in the rooms when he's rapping. People are losing their goddamn mind.
He's got his own lane. He's got his own lane, yo.
He's got his whole own shit.
After that 2-on-2 with Danny at Civil War, something clicked, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like he's been real underrated this year. Main event battle with Fonz was awesome. You know what I mean? Good back and forth with Jack Boy. So win for him on that. Salute to Tink on that. To just be Danny on Litework. Great underrated battle with Jada Nightwing. Didn't get talked about enough, in my opinion.
Agreed.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming back from a stretch layoff, and you know, it's like each battle he's powering up. He's got his own lane, own delivery, own wordplay, own content, and it's like that's what we look for, original material, you know, and he's providing that. So with each battle, Tink is powering up. Like he's gonna keep on leveling up. Next year should be a good year for Tink, man.
And we were talking about Nun, Tink and Nun are very close. And
Hunger Games, yeah.
And it's clear that both of them, once they actually got their foot in the door, they just put this kung fu grip on fucking battle rap, and they are not trying to give that up.
Hell no, man. You know how difficult it is to get a spot in a rotation? Like, listen, man, everybody.
Yes.
Everybody plays their role. Everyone is a cog in this whole spacely sprocket, you know, cog wheel thing. Some are bigger cogs than others, you know, but you need to be in that. Yeah, it did sound crazy. COGS. See, I was trying to keep it moving. I was like, I know I sound crazy right now, but they ain't say nothing. No,
keep talking about big cogs.
Listen, man.
I'm sure no one will mishear that.
They got some big ass cogs, you know what I'm saying? And some little cogs, but all the cogs got to be working together for that machine to move forward. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh man, what have I gotten myself into?
So Homecoming is gonna be great.
Lots of cogs on that one. Paul.
He couldn't help himself. He had to go back one more time.
That's the last one.
So final exams, and then what? 6 days later? 7 days later? 6 days later, Homecoming. So the first time we're in New York, in France, you would know, every.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since Amazura, but 5 years since Irving Plaza.
Amazura was the
horror
Summer Impact Reloaded.
The horror at Amazura.
That's what we call it.
You got the Malice in the Palace and the horror at Amazura.
Yeah, that was an interesting night. I ended that night with tear gas in my fucking eyes.
Classic battle rap night. I know we're not celebrating what happened, but I mean, from the memes to everything. Now that it's all, past and done, and we've gotten past that. What a night, man. When this is all happening in your brain, is it like, oh no, this is tragic? Is it what the fuck? Is it like, oh, my equipment? Like what's going on through your brain?
The equipment first, right? Is that grab the cameras?
It's the equipment first, yeah. My like
grab the cameras.
The audio rig. So the people caught me in that footage. Y'all probably sent me the screenshots. People caught me in that footage, and it got posted around for a while.
Oh my God,
of just me like bear hugging my equipment. And like it's not a secret. Like I'm 6'6", like 240 pounds. Like, so I wasn't like,
You hear that, ladies? Yeah.
I'm just, you can like in the shots where you could see me, I just look annoyed as shit. I'm right at the front of the stage, just bear hugging my equipment, trying to not have it break while people are just bouncing off of my back.
Hey, yo.
God damn it.
Yo, so when the tear gas hit, when the pepper spray hit,
Yeah.
like, did you feel it, or were you just like,
I felt it.
Oh yeah. If you were on stage, you like, because they I believe they had them in like little bomb forms, so they were just
my God,
throwing them on the ground.
flash bombs.
Like just these little sort of breakable pods, and they were just chucking them on the floor. The security was.
Oh,
You know,
man.
I got it. Smack got it. Like, yeah, it was nasty work. Like, it was a hell of a way for the evening to end. We were not in great moods.
And you still held on to the to the equipment.
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna. I'm not. That shit's worth more than my house. That legitimately, not kidding. Like that shit is stupidly expensive. I've invested way too much in that shit. I can't even imagine what you'd have to do for me to abandon that stuff and just take off running.
And you right to hold on to it, man, because New York City, man, somebody's like, well, I don't know what this does, but I'm gonna get some.
That too, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things. But anyway, so we're back now, and there will be no shenanigans. Fuck that.
No. We were just reminiscing on some good old battle rap times.
No,
man.
I'm just trying to put that in the universe. Like I will tolerate no bullshit.
Yeah, nothing but good energy. This is gonna be a good one. I mean, we got Geechee Gotti coming to New York City, man, on Irving Plaza. Not his first time in New York. He battled TY. He's battled T-Top. He's been in New York before, but this is like. This could be a coronation for him, man. Like he could leave there and act like corrupt and call himself the king of New York. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that could. There's so many narratives that can happen.
Shit, I hope he does something like that, just to keep it spicy, right?
And he wears all the Yankee gear already. It's like it already comes into play, man. It's like this. There's a lot on the line for this one. I'm actually hyped. I'm anticipating this. This can't get here fast enough for me, man. Like it's either gonna be amazing or amazing. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. I'm gonna have a great time watching this. So
you'll leave with some kind of story, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Here with something.
What you got, Fran?
And I'm saying I'm leaving here with something, no matter what happens.
Hell yeah. It's gonna be content all week long, man. The timeline's gonna be jumping for that one. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid. That's gonna be stupid. And I mean, I feel like people are looking past the Jack Boy and Shine battle, but the performance level from these two people.
Oh no, they're not looking. They're not looking past this battle at all.
No, okay, good.
After Jack Boy did his stanza about the Jets, the Mets, the Yankees, all those people, like now there's a built-in story to this. And K-Shine just came off his best performance in a while, so now people are anticipating that happening again.
Yeah.
And Jack Boy, you've been wanting this. You know what I mean? This is for
no great test.
Best performer. You know what I'm saying? Like all this and that. Like this is the test you wanted. I know you've wanted, this battle beforehand, but now it's happening in Homeboy's hometown. Like this could not have been a better situation for this battle. And I don't want to hear none of this. I wanted the battle beforehand. They took too long. I didn't get excited for this battle anymore. No. I'm expecting a masterful performance, man. Like this is what you've wanted. They've given it to you. I gotta see this, bro. If there
was ever a time to make a statement as far as like the way you revere yourself as a performer, what better way to make it against K-Shine and Irving Plaza?
Right.
Absolutely.
And both of those gentlemen, on a personal level, have had some very real challenges in the last couple of years, some very real life shit. And I feel like that's always, and I'm not saying that just to speak on their personal lives, but I think that's always kind of a crazy opportunity for like a cathartic, like type of
a
fucking
release.
moment,
Yeah.
and just fucking expunge all the fucking demons and shit inside you and things you've had to struggle with and things you might even be struggling with up till the moment of your performance. And just I don't know, battle rap has that crazy, like I said it way early in the podcast, like a raw nerve type of opportunity, right? And that's why I love the battle rap crowd so much, is we're willing to go on that journey with you. Like a dude can just cut his arm and just start bleeding for us, and he'll tell us everything that's been going on, and we're like, oh yeah, we're here for that. I love it. So they could both, I mean, there's kind of that opportunity too. I just feel like, plus these are two of my favorites, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm just hyped off that.
No, I'm hyped, man. It's funny that you do say that though, because a lot of times I start to wonder, because you see there's definitely a correlation to people who are going through things in life, and they might be in a dark time or depression or going through things. And I've seen the comments of people go, well, battle rap saved my life, or like when I was in my darkest times, like battle rap was there. And I think to what you're saying, it's kind of like people live vicariously sometimes when they're watching these battles. It's like, you got your boss on your back, your spouse could be on your back, your mom and dad, or your kids, and blah, blah, blah. And for that 30-minute, time frame where you're watching a couple of battles, you're seeing people let out all their frustrations, yelling, cursing, saying the foulest things to one another. And at the end of the day, they walk off the stage, and that's that. And I think people, get that secondhand, like, feeling of like, oh, okay, everything I was dealing with, I can let it out through this battle. And I've been realizing like battle rap really holds that space for a lot of people, man. Like, and I didn't really, I never put two and two together before. Like, you never really notice, like, people who are going through some dark times or depression times and stuff, like they really cling to battle rap because it helps with that release of all of that anger and frustration. A lot of times people don't even know that.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that battle rap sort of people worry sometimes about the potential of it like selling out or something. I think when like big money started to come into battle rap, like people worried about that, and that's fine because it was very important to them. But also like battle rap almost has a little bit of insurance just built into the culture itself, where it's like, bro, people who listen to like club music are not trying to like shut that off and then just listen to like some guy talk about what it was like to grow up, in Brooklyn, like in the early 90s. Like they're not trying to fucking listen to that. They're like trying to chill out, they're trying to turn up or whatever they're trying to do. This is a very different, a very vulnerable, a very intense thing. It's not just, I fucked your mother jokes. It's like really intense shit. But then sometimes it's I fucked your mother jokes. You know what I mean? Like we occupy a very specific space, and I think that's, I don't know. I think that's massively important, and also, like I said, it sort of protects us from the outside world.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we are our own world. Like battle rap is so crazy. Like, during the time where I had some time off just from, the pod and being visual and all that stuff. And you really get to step back and look at battle rap like for what it is. And, a lot of times people would ask me like, what do I love so much about it? And me personally, it's just like, it's that aha or eureka or magical moment where somebody can put a group of words to, we all have the same use of words, but when someone can put together a sentence or a phrase so perfectly and say the right words at the right time, the right way, and they give you chills, like that level of communication and mastering a crowd is like something that it's not a gift that everyone possesses. There are only a few superhumans in the world who can do this on a high level. And it's like the mastery of the language to me is like what always draws me in. Because sometimes, you get older, the content could be a bit much at times, and it's like, but when you start to look at the language that goes into this, it's just like, I can't get enough, man. I get that rush from hearing a dope bar, man, or ill line. It's like you just keep coming back to this.
Yeah, Yeah, I think everybody on this call and probably anybody who's actually listening to this thing right now has like 6 to 30 moments that are exactly like what you're talking about. Like,
oh, absolutely.
it's like,
man.
how the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I getting emotional? On my lunch break? Like, fuck, I gotta go back.
You know what's funny that you said that? I feel like this is turning into like a Joe Rogan type episode. Right? We're like going everywhere.
We're long-winded. It's not a problem. They're here with us.
Oh, the people who are listening to this, they're loving it right now, man. I'm talking about it. They're walking around, their shoes are going push, push, push. They have it. They're loving it so much. Yo, I was watching. I was listening to a music theory dude, and he was breaking down like classical music guys, John Lennon, everybody, Paul McCartney, and he was saying he was playing the chords and telling you that your mind knows this major chord is something happy should be said here. I take it down to minor, something sad should happen. And then, what is the mind waiting for? The resolution and everything. So then you'll play a chord that will bring you to the resolution. Some musicians don't know this. They just play by feel. Right. But your brain is already anticipating where this is going to go. So it knows to feel for those chords. And I feel like in battle rap, you have rappers who understand how to play on people's emotions. So they know how to adjust the voice, adjust the cadence, when to bring it up, so that your brain is searching for that. Okay, I know the haymaker's coming here. I know the haymaker's about to be here. And when you land it, it's like that person has mastered the formula of battle rap, or how to play with the emotions. The bars are just secondary at that point. Like being able to capture people's attention and for them to say subconsciously, I know where these bars should be going, and I'm just waiting for the words to match up to it and make it make sense. Like it's a magical thing when you go into the science of it. And like, this is just like music theory, man.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, because that's that right there. That's that crazy synergistic moment where when somebody's doing one of those sort of long form stories and it's building.
It's like when Hitman goes, man, what? It's like everyone understands when he stops at that man, like, like something is coming after that, man.
Right. And what I would say is that synergy, that communication is when you get the cheers before someone hits the haymaker. When like, and what those are, if you've ever been in the room, you know exactly what it is. It's the mass realization of, oh fuck, that's what they're about to say, right?
Yep.
You catch it just right before they're about to say it, which is why certain people like Jack Boy do really well with that sort of. I don't know that he was the first one to do it, but it definitely became his signature to just stop before you actually say the punchline, because people actually know what's about to happen. So stopping makes everybody go, oh fuck, that was like a magic trick. Like I know what he said in my goddamn head, and he didn't even have to say it. So
exactly.
Yeah, that it's a participatory thing, even if you're not the one on stage saying it.
My favorite part is like when a battle rapper finds a real comfortable pocket and they're able to stay in the same rhyme pattern for a bit, to the point it's like a crescendo, and the haymaker eventually hits, and it's so heavy that they have to bring back the rhyme pattern. And now the crowd who just heard these bars for the first time less than 60 seconds ago are now repeating the exact same bars leading up to that big haymaker with them.
That's like the AMG mode, man.
You know what I mean? Like that, it's just free to wave again. That right there, a lot of people tap into it. Tay Rock taps into it. Surf taps into it. Easy's tapped into it. Ichi, a lot of Nitty. A lot of people have tapped into that. And when they get that, there's like no bigger like participatory like moment and stamp of validation for the battle rapper. Like, oh, I hit one.
No, call it what it is. It's like going to church.
K-Shine too.
Yeah, there you go. It's like going to church. And these guys are all preachers and reverends trying to get the message out. It's the same thing. Sometimes you go to some church. Listen, man, when I was younger, I used to go to Catholic church. You know what I'm saying? And have you ever been to
relate to that? I relate.
Kyrie, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Like that does not get you jumping like some good old
No.
Baptist church joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a level of communication that the Catholic Church could use to get hyped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're right. It's absolutely like a church. Like what, like I always talk about We Go Hard, and I'm like, yo, that's a religion. Like when you go in there,
God, yeah.
you have to leave whatever preconceptual things you had about battle rap at the door, and you have to go and worship in their house and get into the spirit, because the spirit of We Go Hard will hit you, and you will be having, you'll be having convulsions in there because it's just so crazy.
They're not even Southern Baptists. They're like Pentecostals. They're like
they got snakes
or something. Like, if you've been to a We Go Hard event, it's like church.
It's madness.
They go, and they're literally like, the first time I went to a We Go Hard event, somebody, Scotty Good or somebody who's like pretty dope but definitely super tapped in there, said something, and people started running around in circles, like, and nobody thought it was weird. It wasn't like, oh, this is the first time that's ever happened. It was totally normal to them to celebrate something they liked, to the point where they were
having a mosh pit, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not exaggerating in any way when I say
I know.
Circles around the battle.
I know, man.
I never saw no shit like that in my whole life.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Battle rap is such a science, man.
It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
What else we have on the board? Go ahead, JB. I have some more.
No. Do you want to talk about events more, or you got some other?
Well, actually, I actually wanted to segue from the events to where the events will live at, aka the URLTV app.
Oh shit! Okay, let's make some people upset. What do you want to do?
Yeah, can I let you
off news to me?
You know what I'm saying?
Some fiery emotions about the app.
We've made it this far. You didn't get any app questions. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't let you leave without the app questions. I guess I want to speak up for the people that I've seen critique the app. There's people that just want to critique for no reason, right? But you can also weed out the people that are like, I'm a loyal paying customer and I just want this to be better. Like, for example, like the schedule of drops. They want to see the drop. Obviously, the 3 battles being dropped a week, but now when they see certain events, and I think it really happened with like Civil War II, and it also happened with like Battle of the Bayou. The drops were a bit farther away from once the event occurred, so they like, I don't know. So all of a sudden, people get discouraged, like, "Oh, we're never gonna get these." Like, you're gonna get them, but I guess what can like be ensured to like they see these battles drop on a timely basis? Because from all these events, I'm not sure if all of them are on caffeine or which ones aren't on caffeine, but
right.
If out of these 8 events, let's say 2 or 3 of them are only on caffeine, or even just 4, which I don't know, 2 to 4 will be. That's another 4 events. That's like 6, 12, maybe 18, 24 battles. We're like, oh, we're waiting for it. When we're gonna get them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily in charge of when things drop. I'm the guy who makes everything look pretty, and and I'm not trying to distance myself from it. I'm just saying I can't always speak to why something gets held for a week longer than you'd like. But I will sort of say this just in terms of perspective. I think, and I used to get annoyed about it, but then when I stopped being annoyed about it and actually started engaging, I think people notice too that I'm probably one of the more engaged people when it comes to people complaining about anything about URL. I'll actually like DM you and be like, hey man, that was kind of a good point, or like, hey, you're bugging, like, and just so you know, these 9 reasons are the reasons you're bugging. But I think a lot of it comes with what I started to realize is that a lot of the complaints come from people who don't remember what it was like before. Where when I was just a fan, I was waiting on Summer Madness drops for months. Fucking months. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, O-Red and Big T or something, you might be waiting for a super long period of time. And when I do an event, I pretty much upload all that stuff right away. So it's available very quickly, right? Now, when I say upload, that doesn't mean it drops. I just mean that I'm done with my edits. Derez is ready with the promo. We collaborate on the graphics, and then it's completed. They are completed viewable files. But things drop strategically, you know, like sometimes a drop gets held because it's really, really good and we don't want it to get lost in the muck, right? However entitled you feel to watch a thing, you aren't entitled to watch it. Like we're dropping stuff based on the agreement of the app. I want to drop more shit on the app in general. Also negativity sells, so it's just like people just say like URL's fucking up because I didn't get. Anytime there's even a fire drop that happens, there's at least like 6 people going, why didn't they drop the thing I wanted? Even if it's some super low tier thing, they seem to have no problem bitching about it, you know? But again, there's I wouldn't say there's perfect strategy involved, but there's strategy involved typically to how things are dropping, right? Like not dropping the ladies 2-on-2 from Battle in the Bayou was strategic in that sometimes if we drop a whole bunch of stuff really fast, it doesn't like hit the news cycle at all. It just kind of like people go, yeah, I like battle rap. And then they just start obsessing about, I don't know, somebody fucked somebody's girlfriend or some stupid shit like that. So you kind of, sometimes you wait for a really impactful battle for a lull, you know? And then it's like, oh, here's a good opportunity to draw as much attention as possible to this crazy 2-on-2 with these ladies, right? And that's a big part of it. If you notice, like one of the questions I get is like, hey, how come you didn't drop the whole event at one time, right? And the funny thing is we do that like a lot, but what we notice is that oftentimes if we drop an entire event on a day, that rewatch isn't as big of a thing in the current era. I feel like you guys and me, like you'd rewatch a battle just over and over and over again, right? You'd come home and you watch it again. You'd go back to work. You'd come home, you watch it again. You'd watch it on your phone, on your lunch break, whatever, right?
There's so much content now that it's almost impossible to like a battle has to be amazing for it to get 3 watches out of me.
Right.
To get a third watch, it's got to be amazing.
So what's difficult and what's difficult to tell a fan, because I mean they're right to want what they want, right? But it doesn't necessarily, it's not even necessarily beneficial for the artist that they love so much that they want it. Because let's say you love Tink the Demon. If I drop Tink the Demon's battle right next to Murder Mook's battle, not that many people are going to watch it. Like, and that sucks for Tink because I want Tink to succeed. So sometimes people just watch the headliners because of name recognition or whatever. When I drop 6 battles in one day. And I'm saying I drop, but it's not me, but
right.
I don't mind. I'll be the effigy they can burn for it. I don't really care.
Put the blame on me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing bad happens to me when
you
go, drop the fucking blah blah blah. I go, okay, like you know. I register the complaint and I tell the people who actually make the decision, and they go, "Oh yeah, we can drop that on Wednesday."
Outside of the release schedule, if I were to ask you, like, what are some ways, in your opinion, that you want to see the app improve, or things that you like? You know what? I think we can improve in this category or this area.
If I had my druthers, I would honestly maybe have our app restructured. And do things that I mean, I think it's worth the fucking $8 that it is now. I think it's weird when people act like $8 is very much money, but okay.
And the price hasn't gone up. It
No.
hasn't.
No.
Gotta respect that, man. I gotta respect that.
Yeah, and we've never had a conversation about it going up. I mean, I couldn't say that would never happen, but that's not like a thing that we're like, ooh, the day we can go to $8.99. Woo! But I would love to maybe have a structural change to the app where it's not so much about a battle drops Monday, a battle drops Wednesday, a battle drops Friday, and then it's kind of quiet. I would like to have it much more like a sort of network, if you will, where there is or even like, I mean, obviously on some level, anybody who's doing a video app, Netflix and Hulu, stuff like that is sort of a go-to. So the idea of having things that are more like a series where maybe I create a show where it's battles, it's still battle content, but it's sort of a series of battles with a theme, right? Oh, these are like the sort of tough guy battle rappers. We film in a certain way and we have a certain host, maybe not Smack, right? Maybe like one of the battlers who's identified with that kind of approach, and then they host all these battles, and then we drop the whole series, right? And you can parcel it out how you want, but rather than just being like, oh, the Wednesday drop is, oh, who are these guys? Instead, you get this sort of big drop, but we also promote it as like the new series is called whatever you want to call it, and here's this thing, right? And it's just sort of living there, and then as stuff comes along, you know, we're just creating stuff more in series format, where maybe you get a big drop, or you get a new battle from the series every Wednesday, something like that. So there's a little anticipation built in. I'm saying these things all sort of freeform because no matter what you do, if you're going to innovate, you're also going to need to adapt. So
right,
people around who know me, that's kind of how I'm always thinking. It's like, what I would love to have is this, but also if that doesn't quite work, we could default to this, you know. But that type of thing, maybe making things a little more like series based, where there's like kind of just special shit happening all the time on there, rather than a sort of almost like timeline looking user interface where people are just like, oh, what's the most recent battle? Oh, well, I don't like that particular battle, so I don't like this app with how many fucking battles are on there now? It's got to be like 1,000 goddamn battles on there now. Like, you know, like something on here well enough to watch it. Like, I'm sure you do, but maybe you don't realize how much stuff is actually here. Right.
So safe to say Litework is kind of like the little guinea pig for this. You know what I mean? Like, got a whole new concept, is dropping once a week.
Sure.
We've got the date, we've got the time. So now Saturdays at 5, right? We get a brand new Litework battle. So now later on could be something on a Wednesday that drops, something on a Monday, something on a Thursday. So you know what? Today I'm getting a such and such style battle. Thursday I'm getting a such and such style battle. So there's always something to look forward to without, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's content weekly that you're getting that you can look forward to, as opposed to, oh, give me all of this event or whatever. So it's always something for everyone dropping every week.
Right. And I think that's a really good way that you just framed it. Like that there's some anticipation built into it, but you also kind of can identify the style that is going to be presented, if not necessarily the quality, because obviously there's some chaos built into the fact that there is, you know, individuals responsible for their own writing and performance, but that something at least stylistically can be counted on at certain times of the week, at certain times of the day, at certain times of the month. I think would potentially tap into I don't know, good feels.
Nah, that's dope, man.
Yeah,
looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
and live streaming. I would love to live stream on the app. And
Oh man, that's a whole other can of worms.
that was there we go. That's what I wanted to get to, right? And that would be the last app question I have. It's mainly because I look back to like Civil War I. The marketing for that event was outstanding. And there's a lot of app events that have great marketing, or there's some of the battles just that good that it like hits, our social media, and everybody's quick to talk about it, quick to cover, quick to recap, quick to talk. And as of this year, for like To Live and Die in LA, Civil War II, a couple more app events, I just feel like they didn't get the same level of juice. And I don't know, like then it's become this thing between battlers where they like, oh, you're an app battler, you're an app this, and this is like, well, you all are app battlers. All your content's gonna live there, but now like they're demeaning each other because of these events, and I feel like they're doing it because they feel like the events don't get the proper like traffic behind it sometimes. And I'm wondering, is it like going to be a thing in the future that app events could be live streamed, or that there'll be stronger marketing strategies behind the app only events, or both?
Yes and yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, P and I talk a lot about and Beasley talk a lot about how to step up and how to become really sort of tenacious with promotion of the apps that aren't caffeine based. Obviously, when we collaborate with caffeine, we have a sort of a good sort of working mode of how to promote those, where to promote them, what our budget is, what we're contributing, what they might actually be contributing from their sort of small marketing team, and how to really push narratives on that stuff. With the app events, sometimes it's a little more chaotic, sometimes things are changing last second. Sometimes, there's just more kind of bullshit built into it. So but that almost, I guess the point of that is that almost begs for a more aggressive and regimented and standardized way of promoting that stuff. So absolutely. But yeah, live streaming it or doing, like I said, I had a really good meeting today about the potential of like not necessarily just like giving away battles from final exams, but like streaming the judges table, the commentary table, things like that, just to me, that's at least potentially a great way to market that event, right? You can't be here for it. We're not necessarily live streaming this one. It's going to live on the app, but here's a way of reminding the world that this is happening, right? So that artists who are participating in an app exclusive event don't feel like they're missing out on as much exposure as they deserve, frankly.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to say it, man. If the app ever said, hey, for a $2 upgrade, you could stream the Battle of the Bayou while it's happening, I'm paying for my $2 upgrade, because, like, in all fairness, prior to caffeine,
that's premium. It would be premium content.
Prior to caffeine, almost all the events, like a majority of events, pay-per-view, right? Everybody paid for the pay-per-views, and I'm sure now paying for pay-per-views is damn near feeling obsolete. People wouldn't want to. The abundance of events URL does a year. Be happy that caffeine's around, the app is around. You're saving a lot of money. Imagine you have to pay for all of these streams individually.
Yo, do you remember when we fucking had to pay-per-view for every goddamn live stream and every fucking league? Like, holy shit, that was expensive then. Now imagine multiply that by the amount of output we do now.
And inflation.
And but, we've been spoiled between 2020 and 2021 on caffeines, and we got so many events live streamed for free, damn near almost one event a month. Some months even two tournaments each year. So like, I feel like a little bit of that has gone down, and there's not that many activities. Not there's a ton of activity. For God's sakes, you're ending the year with 8 events. But I feel like people haven't been disconnected, or just like, yo, I want that live stream again. Like, remember when Battle of the Bayou was happening, everybody's like, damn, I wish this was live stream, and everybody's just refreshing their phones for like updates, like crack fiends, like, yeah. You know what I mean? So like,
people want that dopamine fix, man. people want that communal feeling of watching the battles. And I think some people just don't know how to communicate that. It's like, that's what we have fallen in love with, to know that at this point in time, everyone is sitting down and watching the exact same thing. Because once the battle drops, whether it's on the app or whether it's on YouTube or whatever, I now can choose when I want to watch it. But when it's live, I'm now watching it with all the other degenerates at the same damn time. And that energy is traveling through Twitter everywhere. And it's like people just can't express that. They miss the live feeling, you know what I mean? And we've all become accustomed to it. So now it's like, if something is not live, now you got to really push folks to like, really like, no, this is dope too. Tune in. Like you're going to really enjoy it. Like, don't just like wait for the live stuff. Like this stuff is dope too.
That's interesting. I really hadn't thought about that. Like that there's I guess just sort of an almost not an expectation, but like just that's the new normal, is that like if you want something, it's just beaming into your house Saturday afternoon.
Pretty much. I mean, like with all the content, all the streamers now and everything that's live and at the touch of your hands, like we've gotten accustomed to it. We've gotten used to it. So now it's like, if it's not live, you know what it is? It's like, if something is not live, in our twisted battle rap brains, not to say this is how it is in real life, but in our twisted battle rap brains, it's almost like, this ain't as important. Like, I want to see it because I can't see it. It's not as important. But in the real world, the battles are. Like, the battles are still good. They're still fantastic. Right. It's just we're so used to live stuff that it's just like, you know what I mean?
And to keep it real, and I'm going to put myself in this as well. Us as media are terrible at just trying to capture the live thing what's happening, right? Like trying to capture the live results to deliver this as a message, something we're all bad at, we're all struggle with. And for some reason, we still keep falling for the same repeated mistake of like, oh, everybody in the building said this. And it's like, well, you already know not to listen to what they say in the building. Like, you know this, but because you have no other option to listen to it, you're going to listen to it anyway, knowing you shouldn't probably listen to it. And we, as individuals, fall into the hyperbolic results or energy, and we're not able to really grasp what's going on. Like, look, great example. A lot of the battles on Battle of the Bayou, media was in the building and recapped it. Everybody that had a consensus of who they won in the building, a lot of those app drops were different winners. You know, and I know that creates a whole nother can of worms of a conversation, but that it's just, I don't know. People really miss the live experience, and I'm sure if there is an option for it, they will opt into it.
Yeah. It's got to be a tough thing though for a company, because you got to maintain some exclusive content while trying to feed the appetite of this ravenous community that wants all of this live free content for the most part. And it's like, well, you do understand there is a company being ran here, but it's like, you know, how do we satisfy both ends of this thing? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, 30 plus events between 2020 and 2021. Shout out to my man JB for still surviving it. You know what I'm saying?
He's a vacation, man.
Almost 70 events in 24 months.
Good grief.
We have been spoiled, and we have now become accustomed to it. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's almost like going to an event and then hearing what happened and then waiting. It almost feels prehistoric because of how much things have changed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you kind of make your own coffin in certain ways like that. I don't mean to make that sound overly negative, but like it is kind of a crazy thing, like to bust your ass and innovate like we do, then the culture goes, oh yeah, fuck yeah, we just want that all the time. And you're like, yeah, but you know, the battles still come out like way faster than they used to come out. And they're like, fuck you. No, that's not what I said. I wanted like this all the time. Like, God damn. Like, no, trust, like there on a certain level, like it is amazing to have a fan base that loves the art form so much that they're like, they hope your children get sick, like when they don't get what they want. You know, like it's like wow. that they like hate you a little bit until they get the thing they want.
Battle rap like, incels, man.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, this is definitely a thing. Yes. No, it's oh, I was trying to bring it back. You lost me on that one. That was perfect. But no, I mean, yes, yes, they go overboard sometimes, but also like, they keep the lights on.
Hey, listen, man. The Coochie List brothers who are sitting at home waiting for those battles to drop, man, they're gonna be on your helmet, man. Like, ain't no broads coming over, no friends coming over. I want my battles. Like what they battled. But like I said, it's a tough thing because you got to run a company and keep some things exclusive, but still, now the day and age that we're in, people just want it now. So it's like it's a tough thing to balance. But you guys are doing a good job though, man. It's like I said, we ain't paying for pay-per-views and there's mad events dropping. So if I gotta wait a couple weeks here and there, I'm not tripping. But I get it. The incels want their battles daily, man. So y'all gonna have to work harder.
Yeah. I will say this because I feel like you opened up this topic a little bit, and I don't want to drudge through it too much because it's a lot of negativity there. But like, I'm hoping if I could hope for anything from this year of battle rap, I would say I would really hope that people are starting to realize that the idea of us not abandoning YouTube, because we still use it to communicate with the community and promote your favorite artists and even release stuff every once in a while and things like that. That the idea that we've done something a little more entrepreneurial with the app and with the caffeine relationship, that you can actually start to realize now, like, the numbers that are coming through on the caffeine streams are insane. They're crazy numbers, and that comes from our willingness to risk and push and find outside investment in the culture. And your favorite battle rapper is definitely making more money than they used to, and that's part of the reason why, is that we have an app, that we have a caffeine relationship, that we're not sort of releasing stuff on YouTube and just throwing it in and just hoping that outside companies who set their own terms can just tell us how much the artwork is worth. I don't think that that's fucking fair. I get why people feel the pressure from a gigantic corporation like Google to use their platform of YouTube, but you don't have to do that just because they say you have to do that. People are getting unbelievable exposure, and I don't want to shit on any other league that does use YouTube. It's not my point, but the numbers that like Saflare and Z the Dropout got watching them rivals some of the highest releases from other leagues. So what the fuck is the problem? Is exposure really a problem when you're literally exposed to more people doing it the way that we've innovated and tried to create? Imperfect, maybe, but is it actually worse? Or does it just seem like it should be worse because it's not on YouTube and we're all on YouTube all day long, me included?
I'm ready to defend this, and I've been strong on this for a long, long time, and I'm ready to say it again while my man Jay Bizzle's here. All right, straight up, two leagues that have apps, URL and iBattle, and guess what? Both leagues are doing 30+ events a year. No disrespect, iBattle actually might be doing more than 30 events a year because both companies have realized I can get $1 out of 100 people over getting a penny out of 1,000 or 10,000 people. And because you are able to double down on your niche and your core audience, and they convert into true supporters, you've completely changed the landscape of the economy that you're able to provide for yourself, for your staff, and for the artist, right? Because over the last 2 years since caffeine's been around, the app's been around, I ain't hear nobody complain about the money they're getting over there. You know what I'm saying? Not to count anybody's pockets, but everybody gets paid very handsome. Everybody gets paid very well, to the point where now battlers
can be better than me. Shit.
battlers battlers can be full-time battlers. And shout outs to the partnership with Caffeine, which has opened the doors for even some media members to be full-time in media, or battle rappers that are not actively battling to become full-time media members. Like there's not
subsidized income like that, man.
Yeah, man. So like I understand that we love the accessibility of what YouTube may possibly bring, but 10 20 plus years into battle rap, we've got to realize this is it's its own bubble. So for it to like be its own bubble and continue to run and be successful for the next couple of years, part of it's going to be really digging into your niche as opposed to that wide YouTube audience that everybody wants this massive spillover for. And I don't know, like there's so many people that's like not on URL that has complete access to YouTube, but yet they're not really talked about amongst media. They're not really highlighted or spotlighted, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, hold on. If every other league, every other battler that's not on URL has access to the vehicle of YouTube, which everybody holds as like this holy grail, why aren't they more in traction? Why aren't they more talked about? Why aren't they getting these opportunities? For God's sakes, like Easy the Block Captain has been on 2 TV shows and has a record deal and does not have a YouTube drop. And nobody's hotter than him. You know what I mean? So like I love the idea of accessibility. I get that. But I also want to burst the bubble and let everybody realize like it ain't what you think it is. The grass is not green on the other side. There's been a ceiling from the YouTube model. And more importantly, if you're a battle rap content creator on YouTube, you know goddamn well before you upload any video, all the damn check boxes you have to click of the type of content you're about to upload. And it affects ads, it affects being monetized. So this battle here may no longer be a profitable battle. It's a lot. And
no, every time I upload one of our trailers to YouTube, I have to allow YouTube to tell me whether or not it's too dirty for them to pay us money for it, right? Just in case they decide that day, or their robot or whatever the fuck decides that day to say whether or not Tay Rock's seatbelt won't buckle up line is allowed by
the community
standards of that day or not. And to be clear, it's almost arbitrary. It's a flip of the coin whether or not it's going to allow full monetization, restricted monetization, or fucking 0 cents. It's completely goddamn random, and it'll be for the same clip. It'll be the same goddamn thing. And so again, I mean, shit, I got YouTube on my phone. I'm on YouTube all goddamn day long. So I'm not necessarily shitting on any company that's trying to make a go on YouTube. I'm not. But also I think when people look at something like YouTube and they go, yeah, but think about all the people who make millions of dollars on YouTube. Well, where did you hear about these wildly successful people who make millions of dollars on YouTube? Bet money you found out about it on YouTube. Right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Think about how many companies are not on YouTube.
And now
more, right? So somebody knows something.
And then you got to think about this. What if you get a couple of loonies who decide, hey, man, I don't like what's being said in this battle. Flag. And then let's just say the whole channel gets taken down or gets deplatformed for whatever reason, because it's happening now. One day, somebody's senator's wife decides, my son was watching battle rap when they did this, and now I've got a hard on for it. And now I want this gone now. And then hundreds and hundreds of whatever, thousands of battles on there gonna be all gone. And then what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to look at what technology has provided for us and where it's going, and how someone can stay autonomous throughout this field, and this very niche field that walks a fine line that irritates a lot of people, but so many people love and adore. So how do you protect yourself while still trying to expand? It's not as easy as people think it is.
Absolutely.
I just see it as everybody loves this idea of like, create your own platform, be in control of your own destiny and your business and your entrepreneurship and your content. And there's no greater way of doing that than creating your own vehicle as like an application. You know what I mean? Right. Again, look, the success. If you don't want to look at the success URLs having with the app, at least look at iBattle and be like, God damn, every time I look at Lex, he's throwing up another event. And he's able to take care of everybody in his roster there. You know what I'm saying? And for all that's been an iBattle, then it's a very fun, special place to be in. But where is that place able to be funded and taken care of? Is between the cash flow of those same supporters that are actually supporting the company. You know what I mean? Of course, YouTube is still good, and great, but like this is where we're at now.
Yeah, and we don't not use it. We just don't use it to give away all of our intellectual property that we pay millions of dollars for every year. We don't do that. And sorry, it's not part of the plan right now, is just to give everything away for free to a company that couldn't give a shit whether we lived or died. We matter at Caffeine, right? Like, they take our calls. When we call, they pick up the fucking phone. They take my calls. Nobody takes my call. They take my calls, right? YouTube couldn't give a shit. You think they care about any one of us?
To be honest with it, you know what it is? It's like there's these people, they just constantly feel like battle rap's supposed to be bigger than what it is. And in my head, I'm like, you want that, but you really don't want that. You know what I mean? And more importantly, every time battle rap gets showcased in places that it's making those strides to be bigger than what it should be, a lot of people in the culture don't support it. There's a whole battle rap TV show on Sling. Shout out to Ron and Barstool. I haven't seen any of the media cover a battle rap TV show compliment battles. Battle rap has been on NBA 2K. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's a little cringy. It's like, oh, what the hell? But yes, there is a battle rap mode in NBA 2K. Do you understand? Like, the people that developed this part of the game might be hardcore battle rap fans and we don't know who they are. You know what I mean? And I can go on over the list of things that's just like, oh shit, there's some mainstream spotlight on the culture. And it's like, they say they want it, but when they have it, they don't really acknowledge it. And then it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like when the Source finally writes about battle rap and everybody hates it unless they're mentioned in it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, who cares? The Source don't know nothing about battle rap. Oh, wait, hold on. They have me as a top 10 media platform? Oh, hold on. That's the Source.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe people think that battle rap should be bigger than what it is. I looked at the Google analytic trends of like key terms. I searched up everything: battle rap, rap battles, URL, battle rappers' names, Moog, Lux, all these names. And there is a common and there's a common trend of when all these names hit a digital peak on the Google trends. And it's 2014. And that's when, we had Total Slaughter. So everybody probably thought, oh, we're about to finally break in the mainstream. Well, that's your little bit of a view of what mainstream may look like. Do you want it? You probably don't. And then ever since then, everybody's like, oh, but we're not as big as we're supposed to be. And it's like, we're just fine, man. We're just fine. You feel me?
Man, I really don't think people realize, and the thing is, I'm a little bit older than our fan base. And I've been in the music industry, I've worked in the movie industry, and I've worked in, TV. People kind of know my jacket, I guess, at this point, but we, like, as a culture, have one of the purely by accident, we have like one of the best potentials for a long, sustainable, successful, thriving, I guess you wouldn't call it a career, but a lifespan in the world of entertainment, right? Without it changing massively, it's kind of going to be us. And that's because it's slow, sustainable growth. We haven't really, like, the outside world has never really figured out a way to just like fully commodify what we do and just be like, oh yeah, cool, we get how they do it now, we'll just take it over here and have Paramount take it and just start doing the battle rap TV show. Like, they've never really figured out how to do it, right? Even people who are sort of entertainment industry hardcore people who are genuinely fans, even that hasn't really rung out to be, oh, I'll just bring in my entertainment know-how and elevate this. Every time they do it, they realize, oh shit, I'm basically starting from square one. And that might seem negative, but it's actually unbelievably positive, because it means if we don't give up, if y'all don't give up, we actually have a way to just keep growing, keep bringing new people in, keep having stuff like Litework that I think is sort of like a consumable small dose of battle rap. And then once those new people see this sort of cool small version, then over the course of 6 months, then they can start watching Lux vs. Calico and the hour and 10-minute fucking marathons with all the inside jokes and weird shit, and you go do your research. Like, we can get them in that way, and then they're like us. They're part of this sort of weird family of people who like all of this like intricate bars that are like somehow about politics, movies, and guns all at the same time. Right? And dick jokes, like, that's fantastic, right? But it's a niche thing. You don't just get it at first view. The point is, once you're in, you're in.
Yep.
And then we just slowly gain those numbers, and a lot of people are eating off of it now. And I don't see that ending anytime soon.
Facts, man. I'll say this, man, to those that have complaints and this and that, it's all good as long as you're coming from the heart with it. But man, if URL decided we're packing it up today, everyone's moving to Bora Bora and the Malfi Coast, and we're just gonna live out the rest of our lives luxuriating in black sand, a lot of people are gonna be very
stop painting this picture, because I'm about to hang up this fucking phone and just do that right now.
A lot of people are gonna be very, very, very sad, man. And this is no league banging. I don't, this is just how it is. It's like if URL disappears, URL disappears, there's gonna be a lot of people who are just sad and complaining about all the culture is gone and this and that and that and that. I'm like, enjoy it while it's here, man. Enjoy it, celebrate it. Of course, everyone's always working to make things a better experience, because I'm pretty sure it streamlines and makes things easier for you guys if it becomes a better experience and all that stuff. So enjoy what we got, man. Let's not take it for granted. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I think the internet is a great place to say angry things that have no consequence. But I genuinely believe that, like, for every oddly aggressive comment in a comment section, there's just like, I don't know, 40,000 people or so that are just like
enjoying it and going about their business
and not leaving a comment at all.
Absolutely.
There would kind of have to be, for the numbers that we're seeing these days.
Absolutely, man. I know you guys recently signed 5 battlers, man. You know what I'm saying? Been making a lot of waves, a lot of headlines, people on Twitter going crazy, some people we didn't expect. The latest one being Saints. I know you guys got O-Red also, Chef Trez, under the Empire now. And I just want to know, I know no names, can be dropped before things are official. How many more of these people are this close to being locked in, man? How many people are on deck? Like, what's going on here? This is like bomb after bomb.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, you'll notice we don't even typically announce signees. Like, it just sort of, people just fold into the system and then it's whatever. But the reality is, so many people have been ringing the phone over here because they want to be part of it again, or want to be part of it for the first time. And I'm stupidly excited to have them here. I'm stupidly excited to have them here. A lot of the people that you just listed, I would consider personal friends. And you've never heard me say anything negative about their careers or about anywhere they went or anything they did. You won't be able to find that. But that doesn't change the fact that I've always wanted them back here in front of my camera, because I care about their life. Like, they're some of the people we're talking about call me at the house just to see how my kids are doing. You know what I mean?
Dope.
And same in the opposite direction. And they're just extraordinarily talented artists who deserve the best. And I don't mind saying that we're the best place to be. We have the biggest roster of absurd talent that is only complemented by any of the names you just said, right? And like I was saying, I was at the studio with all these battle rappers today, filming, and Rum Nitty was there, and he was just talking about how, like, even when anything else is going on, when you sign your contract for your battle, you just want to be great. You just want to do justice to the person that's standing on the other side of the stage from you. Because if you're on URL, anybody could just take your head off on the right night. And if you're a competitive person and you want to get it in and you want to whatever, like, that's, you know, it's the best place to do that. And again, I'm not even trying to shit on another league by saying that. It's just crazy over here. It's really just a testament to the talent that's here. These are retardedly talented fucking people, man. There's people over here who people aren't even thinking of as top tier or even mid tier, who will fuck up your favorite battle rap, given the right opportunity and the right pep talk. They will fuck you up. And so a guy like Trez or O-Red or whatever is ultimately, they're here for that. You know, they want to participate in that.
Even for the wreck.
What's that?
Said they're here for the wreck.
Hell yeah. Yeah. People want to be on the league. They want to be part of it. They want to prove themselves against the best available opponents. It's what I'm seeing. And that doesn't sound, to me, I don't mean that as a shot at anybody. I just mean that as, think objectively, it's the biggest quantity of unbelievably talented people. And if that's your shit, then that's where you're gonna sign up. You know,
there is no question. Like, the quantity of opportunities here is immersed. Like it's unfathomable. In fact, it can't even compare to what else is available on the landscape. You know what I mean? And it's like, so if you want to come to the place where there is the most opportunity for your art to be on displayed, you know what I'm saying? If you want to come to a place where, like, you know, maybe the people running the operations aren't like more focused on themselves than you, then, like, yeah, this is the place to be.
Yeah. And Saint's here, huh? That's fucking crazy.
That was a wild announcement. Yo, that shocked his. Yo, I see. This is where some people don't realize the power of the media when it's being used properly, because your man Saint went in to fax his contract in. The moment that sucker was faxed, boom, your man over here dropped the France bomb on him. You know what I mean? His phone went crazy. He said he never seen his phone that active, that many people interested in what he's. I mean, the dude almost had like 500 likes on a tweet. Like, and this is someone who no one has seen him battle on URL yet. So, you know what I mean? Like, he could not believe how many people were interested in this signing. And like you said before, in the past, you know, you would just sign them, get them done, and then the guy would pop up and start battling, or the woman would pop up and start battling on the league. Right. Now, with the announcements, there's now talking about it, anticipation about it, and this thing like starts to live on. Saint has never seen
schedule for them.
Even when the man won the damn, you know, money, it wasn't this big. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah. And how do I put this? I'm excited that people are excited, because I didn't know. We all know that Saint is super talented, but it wasn't clear that the culture was really like tapped in with him and paying attention lately.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I don't want that to sound negative at all. It just seemed like, I don't know, people have short attention spans, and I get worried about motherfuckers just getting lost.
He hasn't been working as much as he should be, and that's not to his fault. It's, you know, where he was at before, things slowed down. You know what I mean? No fault of his, but things slow down, and now it's like he wants to speed things up and be in that race.
I mean, look, he said it himself. He felt like he said himself. He felt like he felt like he hit a ceiling, you know. And respectfully, when you look at some of the names he's battling, people are like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't come here and just battle mid tiers." It's like, well, hold on now. You know, the mid tiers of URL are extremely talented and they're very good names. So like if he gets a list of all the people that you're like, oh, these are mid tiers, it's like this is more activity, competition, and rec than he probably would have seen by not being here.
Yeah, like look, like I don't give a fuck about none of that fucking shit. I'm sorry, I
had to let it be known.
I just wanted to say it publicly because I don't say a lot of shit publicly. I don't give a fuck about that fucking stuff. Like, oh, why would he come over here and then just battle the mid-tier guys? Because the objectively, the fact is the quote-unquote mid-tier guys on URL are better than your best battle rapper at your league. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. That's ridiculous. Like, I'm not fucking doing this. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, I'm in that studio today where Rum Nitty is saying, and you'll see him say it on camera, Ace Amin is a murderer. He's like, Ace Amin is a killer. Ignore him at your peril. He was like, Ace Amin scares everybody. And people aren't arguing that Ace Amin and Mook are the same thing these days, right? But I promise that if, and this is not me like leaking some booked battle, but let's say we put Saint and Ace Amin on the stage together, whatever pretend fucking tier you think either one of them's on, I promise both of them are taking each other seriously. Promise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's I don't worry about you know what I mean? That's and that's to me an instantly watchable battle. If they both bring it, holy fuck. I'd watch that battle every day and twice on Sunday.
Let's get it, man. It still didn't answer my question, but I think there's definitely gonna be a couple more signings.
Sorry, we got lost in it. What was the?
I was saying, no names, but how many heavy hitters do we have this close? All they got to do is adjust that.
Who's in the green room almost finishing their negotiations? Not who, but how many? Is there any prospects? Any people that coming back? And anybody?
All of them, bro. All of them. Like everybody is always at least. There's no point, and I really mean this. There's no point when we pull up to a city where there's battle rappers from other leagues there that aren't like, yo, man, we should really talk like sometime soon about getting over the, I love where I'm at, but like, what would I have to do to get over there? Like, and that's not like trying to pillow talk. I'm just saying like people want to be on URL. If you were a battle rapper, you would want to be on URL, and anybody you like probably kind of wants to be on URL. Even if their promo game is fuck URL, I promise they kind of want to be on URL. In fact, the more they holler fuck URL, honestly, that's probably the person who thinks about it the most.
I mean, shout out to Billiano Dodano. The man finished his first round battle in the tournament and said, "Once I win this money, I'm coming back." So first, shout out to him for manifesting winning the money. And then shout out to him for spinning the block.
Oh, bro, Bill will forever be one of my favorite battle rappers. Like not just from content, but who he is as a person. I'm always
having there, Vlad.
Success wherever he's standing. I want him to like succeed and succeed. I think he's unique. Beyond unique.
Go ahead, Vlad.
It was so disrespectful. The man said, when I get the money, I'm going right back to URL. I said, oh my God. I said, Bill, this is 100 bags you just got here. It's like, as soon as I get this bread, I'm out. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Tell me that's not fucking brilliant. Because here, like,
I would have rigged it for him to lose. I'm sorry, man. I'd have been like, look here, dog. You know what I'm saying? This
But
money's
now
staying here.
Think about it. Think about that in a 3D chess kind of move, because Bill is way more intelligent than he wants anybody to realize.
Yeah.
Because it's not part of his brand is that he's brilliant. Think about that. You're actually by saying that, you're weirdly putting pressure on the judges to judge it down the middle, right? Because he's not like a name you associate with that league, right?
Right.
But he's over there and he knows he's killing people. He knows he's doing well, and he knows, based on his talent level, his ability to write in a short period of time, that he has every reason to believe he could get to the final round of that shit. And saying that, they kind of can't like just tuck their bias in quietly and be like, well, that's a URL guy, so clearly we can't let him beat somebody who's a little more on brand, right? And so the way a person like Bill does it is he just shouts out loud, I'm not even fucking from here, right? And I'm not gonna stay here. Like, that's a wild ass fucking strategy. I don't have the balls to fucking do something like that. But if you look at it for a second, you're like, oh shit, that's a really interesting way. Because then if people had felt like he won a battle and the judging didn't go his way because they were more sympathetic to somebody who was sort of the brand, the narrative the next morning would be, oh, they don't like him just because they know he's not,
One of
their
their guys.
Yeah, Vlad, it was like when Kawhi Leonard got traded from the Spurs to the Raptors. But before he got traded, he's like, I want to go to LA, so trade me to one of the LA teams. They're like, no, we're singing Toronto. Singing in Toronto. And then he wins a championship that same year. And then he's like, all right, Toronto, I'm back to LA. Peace. Later.
Out of here. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
That's entertaining.
Never a dull moment in battle rap, man.
Yeah, man.
One would hope not.
Fact though. France, man. JB, is there any stone we left unturned? Anything that we need to cover that we haven't covered yet in this Joe Rogan episode?
Bro, we've been talking for like 3 hours, so I'm sure there are. We can do another episode sometime soon or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll check in again.
However
man.
y'all want to do it. I'm clearly still awake, but whatever you're thinking.
No, absolutely, man. You know what? I think we've given them a lot today, and we'll definitely do another check-in. Maybe we'll do these things like quarterly or like every halfway point where we come in and do like an extensive pod where we just break everything down that's going on and stuff like that. But if that's all that we have, that JB, man, would you like to leave the people with some words, some shout outs, anything you want to promo, upcoming events? If we didn't tackle any of them, speak to the people, my man.
Final exams coming up in just a week, everybody. There's really an opportunity to set any kind of name recognition bias aside and just go watch people before everybody knows. Be the cool guy who knows about the talented person before they're popular. Be the person who can be like, oh yeah, no, I remember him when he just came out of the Crucible. Be that person. Be the petty one who brags about how you've got their first album that nobody had. Be that guy. And we're headed back to the West Coast. We didn't even touch on that, but we're headed back to the West Coast in just a couple weeks.
All right, player.
Yeah. So
where's
I'm not gonna do a lot of sleeping, but hopefully the battle rap community will be well entertained.
When are you gonna take a vacation?
I'll tell you this. My birthday is the same weekend as Volume and Civil War. So that's a 3-day work weekend for me on my fucking birthday. So I'm not. I'm not. And we're already working on January. And so I honestly don't know, man. But I'm walking away from this with great stories.
I hope that when you come off the road, you know what I'm saying, you find time to decompress, you know what I'm saying, and luxuriate, you know what I mean? Take a load off, you know what I'm saying, when you get back home, bruh, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of work, Gotta treat yourself, King. You know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I'm looking forward to that. Last time I came off the road, there was a hurricane here in Florida. That wasn't as fucking relaxing as I might have liked. But nah, soon I'll take the opportunity to,
You have to, brother. You have to, man.
around,
Yeah, man. You gotta hit the reset button sometimes, man.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. France, man. Anything else you wanna drop? You wanna say, brother?
Salute to the best director in the game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else behind the lens is only trying to play catch up with them.
I appreciate that, gentlemen. I appreciate your time too. This is a hell of a lot of fun.
JB, man, it's been a fantastic show, man. If you guys have stuck all the way to this point of the show, you are a true degenerate, and we appreciate you guys hanging out this entire time, man. Let's talk battlerap.com. We got some exclusive articles dropping this week on some of your favorite battle rappers and some of the events coming up. So definitely log on to let's talk battlerap.com. And we will see you guys next Monday. Subscribe to wherever you're listening to this too at. All right. Peace.